to aluminum spork, where mysteries come to talk. From ancient cities underground to UFOs that float around. Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological fights, and strange unexplained lights. Aluminum sport, where truth and legends intertwine. From pyramids to guidestones blown, to secrets carved in ancient stone, we're diving deep into the unknown. Hancock's theories we explore, while Congress opens UFO doors. From Göbekli Tepe's rise to jellyfish in darkened skies, mound builders of old, stories left untold, hidden history's core. We're questioning it all. Aluminum sport, your weekly dose of mystery. From ancient text to modern day, we'll light up truth's hidden way. Join us as we investigate, where conspiracy meets reality, and history holds its secrets tight. On aluminum sport tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's a long intro, but damn, I love that song. That's me doing the guitar solo. I am totally not doing that guitar solo, but it would be awesome if I was. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Aluminum Spork. I am Scott. It is Saturday night, and we are talking Mandela Effect. Like, do you remember this panel when Mad was on it? I remember a time
Creepy.
that he wasn't here, though. That's so crazy. What's up? How are you guys doing? We'll first say hello to Bad Takes Bojan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. It was a nice day. It's about to go from 85 degrees on like Wednesday to 50 degrees the next day. So we're having that like pretend it's spring, but no, wait, it's summer. Oh, wait, no, wait, it's winter.
Yeah, that's New England too. I can't stand it.
I'm here.
I can't. Yeah. Oh, you're here. I remember a stream when you weren't here. Mandela Effect confirmed. What's going on, buddy?
That's not how Mandela Effect works, but I'm here.
No, it does.
Oh, wait, I said that already. Sorry, I'm
Wait
just
a minute.
waking up. I haven't been up
That's
that long.
called now. That's called deja vu.
Ah.
See, it all works
Yeah.
out.
I wonder if
From the OG YouTuber to the
Yeah,
young
Matrix.
YouTuber.
Is it a Mandela effect, that the idea that deja vu is caused by the fact that your eyes see things quicker than your brain can process them, but that's not really true? So I don't know if that's considered an old wives' tale or a
No,
Mandela effect.
because for me, no, Mandela Effect has nothing to do with deja vu. Now, deja vu for me is like I'll actually dream something, and like 6 months to a year later, that moment in my dream happens exactly.
That's not deja vu either. That's
That's
premonition.
premonition. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm like fucking premonition.
I
guy
had
then.
premonition. The day I got blown up was actually April 20th was the anniversary of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Woo!
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Something
I
to
was
It's like,
off air.
I
Yeah,
don't think
something to celebrate.
congratulations is the word,
Yeah,
but
thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. First time, long time. No, so
Yeah. Thanks for calling in.
yeah, that morning when I woke up, I was like sick to my stomach. I couldn't take a dip. I couldn't smoke. I was just nauseated, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I just had a feeling like something. I called it too, man, but he didn't
Right.
want to listen.
Yep.
I told him, I gave him an alternate route. I said, bro, we go this way. We'll get there. Like probably even faster.
Now,
Right?
is deja vu like, because I've had it where I felt like this moment happened before. Like, holy crap, everything that's happening right now, like I didn't see it before, but it felt like we've done this before. That's deja vu, right?
Uh, yeah, kinda like, "Whoa, I thought we've already had this conversation." That's
Yeah.
different than, "Whoa, I predicted this." Like,
Yeah.
I
I do
had a
both.
vision of this.
I do both. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I know.
Well, that's cool. Maybe you have some, what do they call it? Your,
I don't know. It's probably all the acid
not
and
that you have the ick. That's something different.
it's the pineal gland is wide open.
What?
What? Pineal?
How wait,
Pineal?
hold on.
Ah.
So your pee hole is just open?
Hmm. No, I don't have that issue. Yeah, no, the pineal gland, the one that's shaped like a pine cone. That's why all the ancients have pine cones and holding pine cones and shit, Anunnaki style. Come on, man,
Yeah,
you've
but
heard of this,
that would only be the ancients that ever saw a pine tree.
yeah, right? Pineal gland. They already knew.
Right. So I don't know how prevalent pine trees are in, I don't know, Egypt,
That's what I'm saying. The desert.
Mesopotamia,
Yeah, yeah, Mesopotamia.
antiquity.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
The
I had to make up
ancients.
for the one before.
No, no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Sporking's pee, and
Does
then
Rome
somebody ended up
have
bringing it later. Wow.
does Greece have
Good
pine
though.
trees?
Anybody from Greece out there? Out of like the 4 people watching.
Pine trees are all over the world. I don't
You know what? I
you
think
say
they're
all over
all
the
over the
world in different
world.
places, but
Right.
I when I was in Iraq, don't remember coming across any pine trees.
Reclaim
There
It
are
was in
5
Iraq. Do
main
you remember?
species of pine in the Greek landscape.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that
Greece.
covers Greece.
Greece seems it. It seems it. I know they have like hemlock. That's a evergreen, right?
Yeah. Oh, poor, Socrates.
Aristotle? Socrates.
No,
Okay.
yeah, wait,
Aristotle.
Spa. The super band, Spa. It's Socrates, Plato, Aristotle.
Okay.
Mhm.
Socrates was hemlocked because
Okay.
they
He was
didn't care
hemlock.
for, the school that he had. Um,
Right.
Plato,
Right.
unfortunately, didn't make it to the hemlocking.
No. No. No.
Did he have something to do with it? No one knows. Actually, most people
Oh
think that.
shit.
Not most
Now,
people, but
which one was Alexander or Alexander the Great's master?
that would have to be Aristotle, right?
I would think so. It wasn't Socrates.
Or
It must
Plato.
have been
Well,
Aristotle.
because so there is a belief or whatever that Plato made up Socrates, kind of like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
a
Yeah,
voice to speak through. Like whenever I say like my granddaddy always said, it's
right. I've never
it's
heard you say that, but okay.
easier to keep up than it is to catch up. My granddad never said that. Or my grandmama always said worrying's like a rocking chair. It don't matter how fast you rock, you ain't never getting off that porch.
Oh,
My
it
grandmother
reminds
never said
me.
that, nor was she a black
Yeah.
grandmother,
Well,
black
I feel like she should
Southern
have been
woman.
though. Yeah, she sounds like she should have. But that reminds me of one of the more famous Mandela effects. See how we came full circle. One of the most famous ones is "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." Is actually life was like a box of chocolates. Now
Yeah.
the what makes no sense in the context of that, like a mom telling her son that your life is over because life was like a box of chocolates. No, life is like a box of chocolates. We all say is. Everyone says is. Even Tom Hanks has been repeated to say is. Just like James Earl Jones said, "Luke, I am your father" on certain interviews. So, is there a misremembering? Is it some type of like group psychosis? Once one person says it, everyone's like, "Yeah, I remember it that way." Now that we're all connected from the internet, or is it truly something is happening in the simulation or in the multiverse, multi timeline, where things get crossed and sometimes even crossed back, where certain groups will remember it one way, like age groups, but other age groups don't?
Yep.
That's a question.
In Jaws, what did they say about the boat?
Oh shit, that's a good one. Yeah, in Jaws, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry
I'm looking at the
because he
list if you
says,
want me to.
That's they say
"Well, I wrote it,
they
man."
think they
Yeah, go
think
ahead.
he say we're gonna need a bigger boat, but he really says you're gonna
You're
need a
gonna need
bigger
a bigger
boat.
boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Do
I don't
you want me
remember
to send
saying
you this
you're.
list?
I wrote down a list too, but you can send a list, please. I have quite a
You're
few.
probably using a list that I've sent you.
Like, no, I like went through the internet, actually did some research the last 2
Really?
days. Yeah, like Dirty Harry. That one doesn't make sense in the grammar form. He says, "Do you feel lucky?" Well, do you, punk? But he says, "Do I feel lucky?" Well, do you, punk? Well, if you said,
What?
"Do I feel lucky?" Do you, I guess it would work both ways now that I
But
said it
doesn't
out
that
loud.
come after him saying,
The whole thing about the gun. Yeah.
"Oh, how you feeling?" or something, right?
No, he tells him about his
Oh, are you
gun.
thinking to
You think
yourself,
I
"Do I?"
yeah, how many bullets I have left.
Yeah. So the continuation would be him thinking, "Do I feel lucky?"
Mhm.
Well, do you? Because that's so. And he's like, "You're thinking, did he shoot 5 or did he shoot 6 or whatever?
Right. Right. So in a way, you're right.
Am I
In the
feeling lucky?"
right,
Well,
but
do you,
everyone
punk?
but so many people, and there's so much footage of people remembering it that way, and there's so much okay, I could even bring up this. Hold on, give me a second because I freaking lost it, but I will find it again. I found this website that shows, like, the residue of Mandela effects,
Oh,
and
the residue.
yeah, dude, and it's kinda weird because there are so many, um there's so many different articles,
Mhm.
advertisements where it has its "Do you feel lucky?" punk. So it's a weird thing where, like, okay, so maybe things happen
Even with
where
the Darth
people
Vader thing. Like,
right.
remember Tommy Boy?
Mhm.
When he's in the fan and he goes, "Luke, I am your
No.
father."
Yeah, but there's been times where even, I mean, like I said, James Earl Jones said it that way in an interview in the '70s. So it wasn't like it was too far off. Now maybe, he's an actor, he's been through so many different films that it, whatever. It's just, you know. But this database is pretty interesting. Um, if I could freaking find it again. I should have put a little mark on that sucker. Um,
Yeah, like, I wish there was a way you could put I guess I'll call it bookmarks,
yeah, like if there was like some way to
like a
star
favorite
it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
when you
favorite thing.
hit just a
You know
little
what?
star, you could just press.
Stop talking about $1 million maker, bro.
No, it's cool though. We got it copyrighted because I said it on stream.
Okay, cool. All right, I found the database, people. I found the database. So I'm gonna go to the residue, whatever the guy calls it. Uh oh yeah, and is it can or if you smell what the rock is cooking? You're a wrestling person, aren't you?
If you smell.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I was asking that because I don't watch wrestling anymore. I'm above the age of 14. So
Yeah, so did I, but The Rock was around. Oh, wait, always forget you're like a decade older.
I'm so old, dude. So yeah, like here, it'll show like there. This is from Tuesday, June 6th, 1978. Where do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Um, Another article right under that. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Co-director says, uh, do you feel lucky? Do you, punk? Reference. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Like there's different chapters of older books that had it like the book version or the
The novelization.
yes. Do you feel lucky? So, I mean, there is so many incidences. I can't say the word.
Incidents.
Thank you.
Incidences.
Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? This is from Play Today. See page G6 in arts and entertainment, like movie quotes. So they're effing up the actual movie quote. And you're supposed to trust 30 WVIT again? Come on. Or the Hartford Journal.
I forgot where I
All
brought
right.
up the whole the Snow White thing where she actually says magic mirror on the wall instead of mirror on the wall.
Right. Right.
And people's excuse, and I swear to Christ, this is what came up. Like, well, in the original story, it's mirror. So everyone that says mirror is referencing the book. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I read the book. What?
Right?
I
Like,
know it from
and I
the
asked, I'm like, do
cartoon.
you honestly think that people are referencing a book that came out before the 1935 or whatever fucking year it was, Snow White. Get out of
Right.
here with that nonsense.
Please. What? There are
And
so
the
many
book
that
was written in like the 1300s, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
yeah, it's an ancient folk tale. Don't
And how
trust
many
little
mirrors
people.
are hanging around? Exactly. How many mirrors are hanging around in the,
Yeah, back then
1330s?
in medieval Europe, those people didn't know much. Now, if you go down to the Middle East, those guys knew a lot, but we're not supposed to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and okay, Corolla DeVille, right? Just
Yeah.
I remember as DeVille, Ville. Now her
No.
name is Corolla Devil, DE space VIL.
Yeah, when I watched that, I don't know how proficient of a reader I was, nor did I ever watch anything with closed cat like subtitles or anything. So there's
Mhm.
no way I would have
Well,
thought that it was spelled one way and not the other because
spelled correctly here,
yeah.
DEVILLE. I mean, it's like in Technicolor, so this is like one of the original. And meet the new cartoon stars, Corolla DVILLE. Oh, hey, look at her, DEVILLE. These
So
are
this is simply just something that came out before the movie, and by the time the movie came out,
that was definitely after that picture. Come on. So Mandela effect, bro. Just believe in it.
by the way, I sent you a video on one of the group chats, whatever of the 12 there are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some hard evidence about Mandela effect and how you can check it right
Okay.
now.
All right. Well, let's check that out using the old phone one. I've heard about this. If you lose
Have you?
like a
Because it makes no sense to
2008 or
me.
2009, it makes no sense. But there's one dude who has a whole massive TikTok channel because of this bullshit, and I wish I thought of it. And here we go. We'll watch it real quick so they can hit my channel.
So apparently you can use an old phone to see the truth about the Mandela effect.
You cannot.
For example, he did have
Okay,
a
pause it.
headband on.
That's so dumb,
Okay.
dude.
All right.
That looks
Is he
so
holding?
bad.
Is it holding up the phone and you're looking through like you
Yes.
would? I don't
Yeah.
know, like some kind of circular thing. Like, let's say you found tablets in a hat, or no, I'm sorry, you found tablets buried somewhere, right? And then you got to put
Mhm.
them inside of something, and then you're the
Mhm.
only one that can see it, but you have to look through an item to look into the hat to see what the tablets say. For example, right? Is that what we're doing here? Are we using the phone as a way to?
The phone is like the movie where Roddy Piper would put on
fuck it.
glasses and be
Oh,
able
like that. That's a way better
see.
example
Yes,
because that one
see
sounds
the
real.
aliens, but when we took it off, they look like normal humans. That's what this phone is.
So it's not playing on the phone.
So
No,
it's
no,
not the
he's
camera?
it's the camera looking at the other side, like
Oh, okay. You
the
have
other
your
screen.
camera on, and then
Yeah,
you're
so
looking at the screen.
so this screen over here, oh, he's dancing, and even though it's looking at this angle when
It's
he's
about
doing
the
the
Mandela
camera.
effects.
Well, I don't know
For
when the
example,
transition comes.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out right now. Transition. That seems pretty close up. It looked like he changed big time. But oh no, shit, he had it. Wow, this guy's good at editing. All right, I'll give it to him. Oh no. Oh yeah, I always remember him having that lump, the Adam's apple in his throat.
Mhm.
And now they're saying that Shaggy never had it. Never had it. Never had it. That's weird. This one is please do Tom Cruise scene when he's dancing with glasses. Yeah, he has glasses on. What the hell?
I wonder if the girlfriend has an old phone.
But it just jumps. This sucks.
How old
What's
does the
up?
phone have to be?
I think it needs to be like a Nokia style old school
Wait,
phone.
hold on. Was it about to do it? Not a video, but like in real life at a store?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was at a grocery store, yes.
Could I get
They were gonna, like
a box of
Because
Fruit
they were going
Loop
to do
and
and do it. You'll be
Yeah,
able to
or
do it
peanut
for
butter.
Febreze. Yeah.
yeah, GIF?
Well, and get in here. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Grant Gregory? Oh, now
Hello.
it's just Grant G. What's up, Grant G?
Not much. I was just looking at that Mandela Effect video. Yeah, I remember it differently too.
Yeah. or like beam me up, Scotty. The actual thing is Scotty beam me up. Or
Yeah,
there's
I mean, I knew that one wasn't real. Because I watched the crap out of Star Trek, and when people were saying it, it was because of a SNL skit that was done, and that became really
okay.
popular. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
What
Yeah.
about Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad saying, "Yeah, science, bitch." I remember him saying something like that, and
It was just
never said.
science. It wasn't science, bitch.
No, he never
Memory.
even said. Okay, maybe I don't even think he said
Yeah.
that. Either.
Because I know there was a meme that was going around where it had him pointing, smiling, and going, "Yeah, science." Every time someone would say something, it's like, instead of saying lawyered, you go, "Yeah, science."
Hey,
Right.
do
Maybe.
you remember Life cereal?
Yeah,
In the
I love
commercial,
life.
it was
It's
like,
my
yeah, they're like,
Mikey.
I don't want to try it. You try it. Yeah, Mikey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Give it
Mikey
to
will.
Mikey. Yeah,
What? How's it go?
Who's Mikey, and why is he trying to sell me cereal?
give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything, or he'll
Yeah,
try
it's
anything. Something like that.
yeah, it's actually yeah. Mikey won't eat it. He hates everything.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't
No,
make sense, right?
no. No, it was always Mikey will try anything. And it made more sense to me as a kid. It's
Oh,
like, well, if
no.
you guys don't like it, Mikey, like you're giving it to Mikey because he won't try it, but now he's eating it. But he always
No, the other
was.
way makes sense.
But it
He
was the
doesn't like
other way, right.
anything, yet he'll eat the cereal.
Right. That makes sense. That's why as a kid, I never understood why they're like, give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. It's like, wow, poor fat kid.
No, but it's actually yeah. Mikey won't eat it. He hates everything.
Yeah, it was never that. It
He
was never that.
hates, not eats everything.
No,
Yeah.
it makes sense to be hates. It makes sense.
'Cause it
but
is.
It wasn't.
That's
it
what it
wasn't
really
that.
is.
I was 12 in the 80s when those videos, and I just always remember being like, why, Mikey? Don't eat it, man. They think you eat everything, bro. And all we had was commercials. You couldn't speak through it or pay pass it. You
Sarah
had to watch
Lee.
those Stofers, stovetop. There's no
The
Stofers.
jingle for Sarah Lee. The line is nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee, which by the way is a double negative.
Wait a minute, say that again.
So Sarah Lee, I think it's like little cakes and stuff, little snacks.
Yeah, I know what Sarah Lee is.
The jingle is nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
Right.
I thought it was something else. I don't remember what though.
I thought it was
nobody
does it
like Sarah
does
Lee.
it like
Right.
Sarah Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee is what the line is.
Huh. That's weird. Are there Pokemon fans out there?
Not weird.
Oh, the gremlin, the one with the white mohawk. What was his name?
Spike.
Stripe.
No,
Yeah, it wasn't Spike. It was
Yeah,
Strike.
Grant, we know you're in the wrong. Like,
Yeah, dude, you're
in
missing
your timeline
opposite today. Okay, you got the right timeline because you're in
Well, no,
Australia.
it's not his fault.
We're not down there.
It's not his fault. We're
Sorry,
in his timeline.
It's only because I'm a few hours ahead of you guys. That's all.
The Mandela effect changed.
Yeah.
No, his name was Stripe. That's weird.
Yeah, I thought it was Spike.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Spike. Yeah, because I had Spike. I had they were plastic, hard freaking, you could throw them at your friend. It was fun. E. Clay Thomason for $5. The Mandela Effect. What? Wait, didn't it used to be called the Mandela Effect? Whoa. Cue the X-Files. Shit, I should have had it ready for you, but I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. Let's read that one more time, everybody. The Mandela Effect. Wait, didn't it used to be called the Mandela Effect?
Did you really title it the Mandela Effect and not the Mandela Effect?
No, it's Mandela. Yeah.
No, it's Mandela.
Shit, I've been spelling it wrong this whole time. No, it's
I'm
man.
pretty-
His name is spelled
No, it's Man,
Mandela.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's talking about like the comedian.
Oh,
That one
yeah,
I never
never
fell
mind.
for.
Damn
It's
it,
Mandela.
he tricked me on that one. Shit.
Yeah, you got you.
Awesome.
You remember when Palpatine died at the end of
Return of the
ROTJ?
Jedi.
Yeah, and now he didn't. Fucking Mandela
Fucking
with two L's.
Mandela. That's the best use I've seen of Mandela. Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. As a kid, I remember Licensed to Ill, not Licensed to Ill. There's a bunch of them.
Well, do you remember when Silver Surfer was a dude?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Cap.
And remember when Star Wars was family friendly?
You do Lulu if you think I'm capping. For real, for real.
For real, for real. Did you
Dead
know there's a
ass.
fallen astronauts memorial on the moon?
No.
Who fell over on the moon?
Like, when the hell did we put it up there if we haven't been back since
Yeah, I thought the only thing we put
70
on the moon were a couple flags.
flags and
No,
some
there's a
reflectors?
bunch of reflectors that they've got,
Yeah.
so when they shine lasers back, they can see, you know,
The distance and stuff. But
all that's what they just tell us.
that's what they tell us.
Ah.
And I remember
True.
as a kid, South America was like pretty much directly under North America, and now it's like way off to the right.
Oh, New
That's weird.
Zealand's way in the it's in the wrong spot.
No,
almost
New
entirely,
Zealand is definitely in the wrong spot.
right.
Wasn't it right? I always thought it was
Underneath?
northeast. Is it northeast?
Or like
Like
northeast.
You thought New Zealand was northeast of Australia instead of
Yeah.
south. No, it's
Yeah.
below Australia.
Yeah, I never
no,
nope, always
it's
remembered
not.
it. It's not.
guess it's
think
I
easy
don't.
when it's
I
made
don't
of.
remember Cuba for being as big as it is.
Oh, Cuba. You make us zoomed in on the map though.
Oh, I suppose. But like Cuba is like practically the same size as Florida.
It's
I
huge.
don't remember that.
It's huge. And
I actually have a video for that too.
yeah,
to
there
send it.
you go. See, the honeymooners for you older people, the line "bang zoom straight to the moon" or something to that effect
Yeah.
was never said in the honeymooners.
No, he always
Me-
said to the moon, Alice, to the moon.
the
And he
moon
would
was-
hold his fist up to her.
Yeah, I don't even know
Like
if that
men
was
used
said.
to do.
The one that still gets me is the Curious George not having a tail, because
Yeah,
they
that
sell
is
the
a
toys
weird
with a tail.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that is weird.
Or like
Welcome to
the
the right
Brady
time.
Bunch, it's a story. I
Yeah.
always remember here's
I
a
thought,
story
here's a
of a man
story.
named Brady. Yeah,
It's
no,
not, it's a story. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's a story. What was the color of the A-Team's van?
Black with red trimming.
Wrong.
Whatever
No.
happened to Mrs. Brady's first
Hold on, no,
husband?
fuck the Brady Bunch. Hold on, this is hitting close to home now.
Yeah, wrong. It is the lower half, like going like this, is black. Then there's that red stripe, and then the upper half is gray.
What?
Yeah,
They don't
I'll
put
get,
gray on that.
I'll get a photo for that.
I'll
one,
fight
buddy.
somebody on this one.
Yeah, I'll get a photo.
I used to watch all the
Oh.
reruns like in my with my grandfather. Hannibal, what we doing at the airport, Hannibal?
All right, here it is. I'll show
Nothing,
it to you
bro.
right now. And it's not even like
I didn't
close.
hate the remake.
Oh, I loved it. It's so much
Yeah.
fucking fun. Especially the uncut or director's cut or whatever it's called. Like, oh, it's so fucking good.
So I mean, this
Okay,
one
yeah,
looks
the one
closer.
above, the Mr. T, that's the real one.
Yeah, it's gray.
That's not
That's-
gray. That's
gray. Look,
no,
at
they
they're
just
coming
fucked
out.
up the coloring.
No, that's gray. It's gray
just-
and then red and black on the bottom. It was never all black.
That's from some like deleted fucking episode or some shit.
No, no. Mr. T sitting next to it. Oh, look at how gray that is. And then red line, black. Never, ever remembered that. And then also,
What about in
he
the
never
the
said I
remake or
pitied the
whatever?
fool. He never said I pitied the fool in it ever.
Wait, so where did that come from?
Ooh.
That was the I Pity the Fool was from the commercials, the
Yes.
advertisements. That's what it was.
Yes.
It was never actually said in the show, but he
Yes.
did say it. So
Yeah. Oh, Zach's been a member for 28 months. What is he going to say about us? It's the 100th episode of Circle Jerks tonight. I got to thank Scott for falling asleep before every show. Now say Vietnamese 3 times. Vietnamese, Vietnamese, Vietnamese. I don't know why you guys think I
Boom.
say that wrong. It is
Yeah,
correct.
fuck off. I'd be on your side, but I'm not invited tonight, so. But I will be playing I'm gonna be gaming with Slender Dad, who is celebrating his birthday
His
today.
birthday. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yep, I don't care for this either.
How
Yeah.
does he eat cake without a face?
It's the first one, right? Fruit Loops. It's not.
I'm guessing like
fruit.
he eats everything else, right? Through his butthole.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That got weird. Real quick.
Don't forget the map thing is in the same chat I said the other one.
Oh, great. I will bring that up.
It explains maps and shit like that.
Oh, I don't know maps. Yeah.
Well, the
Whatever.
people, you know, somebody, I'm not gonna say who, Tina, was saying that she doesn't remember Cuba being the
Cuba.
same size of Florida. I don't know why I
Oh,
said
shit.
Florida like that,
Shut up.
but you get it.
Now you see.
All right, let's see.
That's a Florida.
This piece off here
Yeah, it was.
and put it
I don't
over
remember South
here.
America was that far over.
And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now I did this with a major record
Okay,
company
that
in
makes
New
sense.
York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, "Now, Elliot, you've gone too far." I said, "What's your problem?" "You can't do that with the map." I said, "Well, actually you can." He said, "No, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore." I said, "The United
Huh?
States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize this depends on how you draw your map." And then I pointed this little fact out to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Well, yeah, that's just the way they draw the map.
No, it is. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? Halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate. Well, you've been in Minnesota in the wintertime.
Wait, no, hold on.
You know that it doesn't have a tropical climate.
Mm-hmm.
No, listen.
Ah.
She's
The
right.
equator is not in the middle of your map.
Yeah.
It's in.
What she's saying is if you run through there, then you hit the actual equator where it's over here. But because the map is the way it is, if you ran the equator, it would be going through the middle of the country. Now she
Right,
just
but that doesn't.
That's not how. That's not what that means, though.
No, and also
Right.
doesn't. Don't forget the world has a tilt to it.
yeah, she's just saying in a map. She is not saying
Right.
this is actual. She's saying
Because
if you
people
look
know
at
the
a map,
equator's the middle of the globe,
so they think
Yeah.
and
it's the
they
middle
automatically
of the
assume
map.
it's the middle of the map, but the map doesn't
Yeah.
include both north and the northern and southern poles. None of the
Also,
land
I
masses
just
are in the
I
map.
just realized that even with the tilt, it would still be in the middle, so that didn't make a lot of sense. But
Yeah. I hate that South America is that far over. I don't remember it ever being, but now that I look at it, maybe it
well,
was.
that's really
Okay.
sticking to.
That
Did
much
she
I
talk
knew because I
anything about
knew that South America was that much closer to Africa, that it
Mhm.
wasn't it completely unheard of that, you know, man could travel from Africa to South America,
Wow.
The map of the world.
as opposed to somebody from Asia going all the way to South America would be completely.
That's very good. The Peters projection map. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted. Look at Greenland on this map. Right there. See it?
Yeah.
Right
it's
there.
Really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look
Mhm.
at it on the Mercator projection.
Yeah.
Well, why do they do
Yeah,
that?
okay, we get this. We get
No,
this.
wait. She was about to say why.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are
Damn.
predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world, halfway between the North Pole and South Pole.
Well, just changed my whole
Now,
life there.
If
Well, I
you
guess that
kid-
kind of
if
makes
you
sense
have
because that
children
map,
with-
Africa doesn't look wide enough.
No, it doesn't look long enough either.
going to school, and they're seeing this map.
Yeah, it looks tiny over there. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I bet
That's
y'all weren't
crazy. I
expecting the
hate this
Pope to be
one, 'cause
involved
this
in
is
that
some
one.
bullshit. Ed McMahon definitely worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, and he was the
Yeah.
check guy. I mean,
Yeah,
No, he
everyone-
wasn't.
I know
I know
Absolutely
the
not.
guy.
Well, you're from Australia. You never saw it. I saw it all the time. We got it mailed to us all the time. We had to see those damn commercials on
Yep.
cable all the time.
I knew a guy whose cousin knew a friend of his who met Ed McMahon in that check.
Yeah, a friend of a cousin.
He never
And
worked
then-
for Publishers Clearinghouse.
Okay, and then there's even a rap video with Ed McMahon going back to those houses and taking the checks back because he's hardcore. Look it up. It's
We
real.
did. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, the rap video does.
And Grant said something important. Ed McMahon worked for American Family Publishers, not for Publishers Clearinghouse.
And he still didn't hand out checks. It's so weird. Big checks. So most likely it's because we've been doing this. Like the CJH said billions of times because it's a simulation, or that the universe just restarts every time it ends. We're all going to do this again. And then next time this show will be like Forking News. And I'll be like, oh
Or
shit, I remember.
Maybe
Somebody
in the
remembers it.
next time we'll cover the video that we were supposed to cover tonight.
Right. And we'll actually not be losing subscribers every week.
Do you remember the video we were supposed to be covering?
I totally blanked now. What was it? Shit.
It was a lecture by a expert in moonology.
Oh my God, the Skullet guy. Oh
Yeah.
my God, we were supposed to do that. Well, we can get into that in a
I've been
little
looking
bit.
forward to it.
Do you have it?
Of course I do.
I knew you would, buddy. And I knew you would.
And I will send it to you,
Okay, good.
to that same one that I've been doing.
And remember,
Oh,
we
and
can do that here on Sporking News Podcast because Aluminum's work is all about talking about what we want to talk about, not necessarily what's on the title.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
gonna be honest. Every stream that I'm on, regardless of what channel, who's hosting, and what the topic is supposed to be, I normally will talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Not
saying
gonna
this
lie.
for a
I've
while.
noticed.
I shouldn't put a title anymore. It just be
it's in the
Aluminum
private chat.
Spark number something.
Yeah.
You know, but could it be? What do you if the let's say the Mandela effect is real, Mr. Skeptic, Grant? What do you think could be the cause of it?
I think when they put the Hadron Collider on,
Yeah,
1957.
that's what I've been saying. The Higgs Biden
No
collider.
Mandela effect predates 1957.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. And then also there is there have been an increase of Mandela effects since 2022, and that's when they started using a more powerful version of the
Of the
collider.
Higgs Biden.
Yeah, the Higgs Biden.
So
Yeah,
it's this
and
all
then did-
parallel universes thing? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it just puts us on into a different universe or whatever, like a different timeline. It like almost
easy-
splits.
Well, easiest way we got time is like a river flowing down, and every time they do that, they're like throwing a rock in there. It disrupts a little thing. It doesn't completely change the way that time
Right.
flows or the river flows. It just has little tiny ripple effects here and there.
You know,
Yeah,
life is
it's
like
not-
a river.
I like that.
always
Yeah.
flowing and always
No, life
changing.
was
What?
like a river.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that one blows my mind. Life
will you
was
sell
like
your
a box of
vessel?
chocolate. It just doesn't sound right to me. What?
Will you sell your vessel till the
I just
river
know-
runs
Well,
dry?
I'd rather it be a river because, like, if it was a tree, let's just say, like a glorious tree that someone controlled, it wouldn't
Like
I
make as
feel
much
like you're
sense.
not getting the Garth Brooks reference here.
I'm not because I'm not a hick. I'm sorry.
It was our graduation song.
Oh, I thought that was a Loki reference.
Here's
I made a
how
Loki reference. Thank you.
here's how East Texas I came from, how Texas it was. The two choices for our graduation song was the Green Day song, everybody knows. Not the song Everybody
Oh,
Knows by Green Day.
I
They don't
hated
have
that
that one.
goddamn
It's-
song.
Oh, you know the one I'm talking about? But at
Yeah,
that
September.
Everyone
September.
knows the song you're talking about.
Yeah. Or
No,
In September 2020. Oh, no, not them. Sorry.
there's something unpredictable.
October, Wake Me When It's November or
no,
something like
it's
that.
no.
When
Oh,
September
something-
comes,
No, they don't know.
Yeah, but it's
or when
not that
September
song.
ends.
Yeah, but it's not that song, right?
It's the what's the name of the song? Did I say the Higgs Biden collider? Yes,
Yes,
I
you
said the
did.
name of it. Fucking, it's the Green Day.
I know what song
Oh
you're
my
talking
God.
Remember
about.
at the
I
end of
can't think of it.
Deadpool, Deadpool
Time of Our Life?
Wolverine,
Something
Time of Our Life. Yeah, that's the one. We'll have the time of our life. Yeah. Anyway, it was between that and The River by Garth Brooks.
Oh wow.
We went with the.
So you
River.
went with a river.
And Garth
Yeah.
Brooks was definitely the better song, so that makes complete sense.
Oh,
So-
I think it's called Good Riddance, Time of Our Life, or Time of Your Life, maybe. I just
Yeah,
thought
that's
of
it.
yes, that is
That's
correct.
Okay, this is just one I didn't know.
I
I
wanted to
don't
go
think
with
it's the
vitamin
person.
C. Go on.
The person put it as a Mandela effect. I don't think. I just didn't know. Did you know there was like a spin-off of the Golden Girls called the Golden
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Palace?
Golden Palace. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
used to watch
didn't know
that.
that.
I had
I
no
didn't
clue.
know
Yeah.
that. Some dude
What's
tried to
up?
say that was a Mandela.
There was another spinoff of the Golden Girls. It had an older guy. His wife died.
Was it Golden
I think
Boys?
Oh, that sounds sad.
no, I'll have to look for that.
Don
I'll look
Cheadle
that up.
actually made his acting debut in the
Debut.
Golden Palace.
Oh, it was a French production?
I think a debut.
It's called Empty Nest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Did
have
you
to
know
say
that there was a
you're
spinoff
right.
of The Cosby Show called A
Yeah,
Different
it's a
World?
different world, and it was very
Yep.
Afrocentric.
Oh, and
Unlike
apparently
the
there was
Cosby
another
Show.
spinoff called Nurses.
Of what?
Spinoff of the Golden
Hello,
Girls called
nurse.
Nurses.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
I sent you that
'Cause it was
video.
a
It's in the private
spinoff of
chat.
Empty Nest.
I will. I'm
so
going to
that's
show
how
it in
they're
a
doing
minute.
it.
So yeah, I like this idea, because you said like the 50s. When we started dropping nukes in the 40s, that's when things started rippling. That could make sense. That could make sense.
Well, I like the Higgs Biden theory because, by the way, we just switched to a new like timeline or whatever, right? Because they just turned it back on not too long ago.
Right, 2022.
And I don't know
I
why anyone
just went
hasn't
over.
gone on there and unplugged the motherfucker for 5 seconds and then plugged it
Oh, no,
back in.
and see what
It's
happens. Right?
self-powering. That's the problem.
Damn it.
What color eyes did Hitler have?
How the fuck would I know? Everything's in black and white.
He didn't have blue eyes because I remember that.
Well, he was
Well,
Jewish.
blue eyes. How did he have blue eyes when the big thing was always funny that not funny, but that he wanted to start an Aryan race of blonde hair, blue eyes, and he had brown hair, brown eyes.
Yep.
But no,
Tell
he
us
had
what
blue
else
eyes.
is funny about the Holocaust.
No, I don't got much. Also, the term Debbie Downer. I
Yeah.
remember people saying that when I was a kid to like some
Yeah.
girl. "Oh, don't be a Debbie Downer.
Right.
That phrase was created until the like 2006 or 8, or
That's
like
not
early
right.
2000s because
No.
yeah, they said that Debbie Downer was from the Saturday Night Live skit, that it wasn't influenced by that created the term Debbie Downer. And no way that
No
happened. That
way.
is so much older than the early 2000s.
Agreed.
Don't be a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer. Those were two of them.
Oh, it was Negative Nelly by us.
Oh, we had negative Nancy.
Okay.
And then a bucket list wasn't created until the movie. That was never said before the movie.
What?
There's no
No,
way-
that's
No, because that's why
baloney.
they made the movie. They even said because the whole interview
Exactly.
process was Morgan Freeman saying about how they heard of this thing called a bucket list and then wrote the movie.
Nope.
Man, that's because
Mandela.
they do this all the time. Gen Z is always like, "Ooh, look at what the Gen Zers are doing now. They're so innovative. They're to save money. They're drinking coffee at home."
That's another one. I always thought the Starbucks symbol was a 5 spiked crown, but it's 4 spikes with a star in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know that. I always thought,
stars have 5 points on it.
yeah, they have 5 points. So really it's 9 points. Think about it.
Ooh.
Notice how WW3 was a major topic a few months ago, and now all of a sudden it's no longer a thing, but eventually it will be brought up again, and then the timeline resets again because someone presses the button. No, it's just because Biden's
No,
no
the red
longer
button.
president.
That
The
doesn't
red
make
button,
sense
sorry.
though, because if it's reset, then wouldn't we go back to whatever time, like before it happened, for it to be a reset? If not, then we're just continuing, but
Well,
in a
no.
different way.
There is a theory with the Mandela effect that there has been times where it crosses, changes, and then comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
And that's why
there's
certain age groups might
major pivot
remember
points
it
or
certain
whatever.
ways. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Jiffy, and then no, it's only Jif or Skippy peanut butter. There's no Jiffy peanut butter. But a lot of people my age remember Jiffy. but it's just Jif.
I think maybe that was from Jiffy Pop.
Oh, it
Remember
could
that
be.
was the popcorn that was
What
in
the
the thing
hell's
that
a
you do
Jiffy
over the
Pop?
stove?
Jiffy
It was
popcorn.
basically a
You do it on the
aluminum pie
stove and you gotta
pan.
shake it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have
You-
those out here, but we had Jiffy. I know that.
So
Okay,
it's like
We're-
it never
one more.
happened. Then what's the reset?
I don't know.
I don't know if reset would be the correct term.
It's not a
Like, wouldn't it just
reset.
be
It's just yeah, because reset we would all remember it the original way.
no?
Yeah,
The
it's not a
reset would be that
reset.
we don't remember. It's like
We don't remember the
when
new way. Like
you go,
yeah,
if like a movie where you're something happens, but you're able to go back in time and start over, and you're Days of Future Past
Mm-hmm.
kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Everything
Like,
changed for everyone. Wolverine's the only one that remembers what happened in the
right.
original
That would be a
timeline.
reset. That would be
That
a
would
reset.
be a reset, right?
Now, what I'm saying is that all right, it crosses here, and some people remember it one way, and then it crosses back, so the next group doesn't remembers it the first way, but there's still that one group that remembers it one way.
Well, because
That's
of the
so
theory
confusing
that
to myself.
consciousness affects reality as well. So that's the reason why some appears different to some. So
Um, the thinker one is also weird because the statue of the thinker, a lot of people remember it on his forehead. There's so many people doing it that way. A lot of people remember it on his chin, but he's really like he has it like in his mouth.
I believe what you're referring to is called T-bowing. I don't
Is that why I
know why
remember it
you
that
would
way?
be calling
John
the thing. Wait, are you
3:16.
serious?
He
Right now?
ran 3.16 feet. He threw for 31.6 yards. He had a total of 316 yards. That's a great video. If you were here, you would have known what I was talking about.
Oh, and the thinker's hand isn't closed into a fist either.
And it's in his mouth.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
weird?
bizarre. I can't even like make my face and my arm do that.
Wait, you can't put your fist up to your mouth?
Let's not.
No, I
let's
said
not
it's
go back.
not in a fist.
Oh,
And the way the arm is, it's across the body and then back over with and it's covering his mouth and his chin. That's really weird. Like I literally can't make it.
replicate it.
Let's see if I can get
Thank
to
you.
it.
That worked.
Yeah, it's not even a fist. You're 100% right. I didn't even realize that, even though I said, yeah, I know what you're talking about because I don't like being
So it's
wrong.
Tebow's fault that we misremember it?
Maybe he's more doing this. That's weird. All right, that's the thinker for you. I remember it as a kid on the forehead, and then okay, I could remember it like this, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the upper
No.
part of his arm is too long because there's no way you can. I mean, maybe my boobs are in the way, but I'm like, there's no way I can cross my arm across my body, twist it backwards, and then put my mouth over the top of my hand.
The sunglasses, the Tom Cruise risky business.
Yeah, that one
sunglasses.
throws me off, dude. Because
Yeah,
he wore
fuck
sunglasses.
that. That's wrong.
Yeah, he always had
So
sunglasses.
they
The whole
say that
thing.
when he did the SNL skit, he wore glasses on that one, and that's what people are remembering.
Right.
Oh,
But
I never
then
saw
when I
that,
went and
though.
looked for it, he was never on SNL.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
I was gonna
okay.
say I
That's
never saw that.
Wait, no,
I
but
like
was it
Lily.
somebody? Was it somebody impersonating Tom Cruise?
Jim Carrey did once on Living Color.
Did he slide in with sunglasses?
No.
I thought he slid in with sunglasses and he threw them off when he turned around.
Oh, you're right. There is a move where he like twists his head back and forth. Yeah.
Also, just out of curiosity, what year did you guys get rid of 2 states?
Are you talking about Puerto Rico and?
Well, when we used to have 52 states, and now we
Guam?
only have 50.
Why? Why would
What
no?
were the
That's
other two?
52 cards in a deck. We always had 50 states since I've been alive.
You always
See?
did. So you were founded on 50 states? I don't think that's true.
See, New Zealand. It's where I thought it was.
Or where I thought it was.
C3PO with the silver leg. that
Also,
threw
it's
off
not
a lot of
Smokey the
people.
Bear either. People always
Yeah,
say his
it's-
name is Smokey the Bear. It's not
What is
What
it?
is it?
Smokey Bear.
No.
Okay, what about Fozzie? Fozzie, finish that.
Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, it's Fozzie Bear. No, it's Fozzie the Bear. Waka
That's
waka
Fozzie
waka.
Bear.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
was
wrong
told
on
I
this
looked like
one.
Fozzie since I was a kid. I remember
It-
Fozzie the Bear.
I'm
I'm
pretty
probably
sure it's Fuzzy.
Tina and I were the only
bear.
ones alive when that actually aired.
Pretty sure it's Fuzzy the bear, by the way.
You're fuzzy.
No, Fuzzy was a
Gotcha.
bear.
No, I'm Manscaped, bitch.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Exactly.
All right. We're done with the Mandela effect. It's either nuclear bombs, simulation, CERN. I'm going with the Matrix.
Or that duo of Higgs and Biden.
That one.
So before we move on, another important topic would be Sadur Sanders. Holy shit, did he fall? Right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
who did he go to? Who did he
The
go to?
Browns.
In the third round?
No.
Is this a sports ball thing?
Yeah, when did he actually get drafted?
Was it the fifth?
That's unfreaking believable. Did he kill somebody? Did I miss something?
No,
I
if
thought he
he
would've-
killed someone, he would have been first or second pick.
That
That's
no,
forgivable.
valid point.
But being a smug, pretentious asshole in interviews, too far,
Yeah,
sir.
dude.
Too far.
Like he said where I'm only going here, and yeah, he did. He was a bit of a.
It's like
a prick, I
Bangaroo to
guess.
report is unforgivable. James Vick, come on over here. Your third draft.
Well, hold on now. That was he. No, they didn't draft him. You know what I mean? After his brother Marcus being the main ringleader behind the dogfighting.
Right.
Yeah, so he went in the fifth round to the sixth pick. So 144th pick. He dropped from the consensus being top 5.
Yeah, unbelievable, dude.
He jumped over 100.
So they said
Wait a
so they
minute.
top 5, not the round 5, like the 5th round.
Yeah, he was supposed to be top 5. Yeah. So
I-
wait a minute.
yeah.
You said the Browns got him.
Well, I mean, there's still a
Yes.
5 in there.
So his career is over. Okay. They do terrible with quarterbacks.
But here's they had already drafted the quarterback in the third round.
Yeah, but you got to take the best. I mean, shit. At that point, the dude is cheap as hell. He's stuck for an extra year. Yeah, man, that's a great pick.
Oh yeah. Somebody should have took a.
Monkey Jeeves. Mandela effect is because people use the internet to confirm their memories. Yeah, I don't know.
I use
man.
Wikipedia.
I don't know. What would
Also,
the
does everyone
original
remember the
time
tank
be?
man getting run over in Tiananmen Square?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got run over.
Yeah, apparently that didn't happen either.
Mm-hmm. I know. Like the film I remember seeing is they moved on him and then they cut it. So maybe we all just assumed he got run over, but I remember the news reporting he got run over.
Oh, you're right about the fact that that would have been perfect, like propaganda to make us assume the tank ran him over
Yep.
and never show the rest of the film.
And that's probably why we all thought one way. We're going to now switch it up a little bit because we have one of the greatest, what would you say, Mad? That one of the video we're about to watch.
Oh, okay. So he's a moonologist, and I think
Yep.
he has I think he minored in alienology.
Yeah, and he's probably one of the
But
most
he's-
brilliant
We should have
people.
majored. I don't want to hear from a minor
Now,
freaking graduate.
this thing is freaking long, so
It could have been the opposite.
we're gonna watch like maybe 45 minutes of it.
How much? We watched what 20-something minutes of it?
No, dude, we watched. I think it was like 4 minutes. We
No,
made it.
it had to
Like,
be
yeah, it
more
was
than
like an
that.
hour. We talked about the guy. Let's see.
Doesn't
This is
sound
one
like
of
a mad fap.
yeah. It was. I don't even know if it was 4 minutes. I think it was like 2 plus.
Hey, do you know Kite?
Yeah, they go meow.
No, Kite, the South African chick that streams. She's on Zach's here and there. That's where I met her. But
Oh yeah.
I was on her show the other night, Thursday night, I think. Anyway, she does this this debate diagram thing where she maps it out, the points and stuff, and then like kind of does a diagram and track it to see where they go, where it takes them in the conversation.
Mhm.
And she'll point out like, no, they didn't stick. Hey, I got her. I got her the she's gonna try to do it with this dude. Like
Oh,
map
jeez.
out his points and then like, wait a minute,
His
how did you
points are
get to
he
this from
in the
this?
How big is
2.5
the wall that
minutes,
you're going to be writing on, though?
dude,
I
the
think she
two and
does
a
it on
half
computer.
minutes we were listening to him, he actually changed.
Insane.
Yeah, this guy's awesome.
He does the
is
same. He does this thing where like he'll throw out all these like, as you know, in the astrology amademia atmospheric thing, as we all know, and then just like he'll reference things as if it's just common knowledge.
Yeah, as you know about the other side of the moon being, a Nazi base, and then
Yeah.
go on to talk about something else like that.
Yeah,
or like
just wait.
as we all know, according to whatever book or whatever,
No,
it
like
gets
the
like-
great all there's only a few of them left, and they were breeded
Yeah.
out having sexual organs, but they're here because they need to breed. I don't know, it was weird.
Right.
I just want to say thank you to Brian McCann for $1.49. He sent over a hot dog.
I
He
got
must
that,
be
Clay.
watching me grill tonight. All right. Let's get this started, and we're gonna let it run.
Thank you. I don't need that.
He doesn't need that.
Just turn it off. Okay.
Turn that
What?
off. Look at him.
Thank
He's
you,
so
everybody. I want to.
This guy is so powerful. He's like, I don't need a microphone. These people are gonna be.
Oh, I thought it was the
it's
old
gonna
guy
be-
that was talking.
No, this bro, the Skullet, Skullet guy. He's like, you're gonna be so quiet. Pin drop. You will hear because
Did you call it a skullet?
yeah, it's a Skullet.
I've never heard that before. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, totally. Just
like
came
it.
up with that. Yeah, no one said that last week in the chat. I totally came up with that myself.
I want to thank Global Sciences for inviting me here. Dean.
Oh, apparently it's actually called a skull, a hairstyle. That's a thing.
Yeah, it's a hairstyle. Yeah, Skullet.
Yeah.
Wait, did he just thank the global scientists for inviting him?
Yeah, that's why this is not okay. I know we were saying last week it was like a Motel 6 hotel
La
room.
Quinta
They just
is what I
moved the
went with, yeah.
La Quinta. Yeah, they moved the bed out, got a couple chairs, but this is a global scientist he's talking to.
Yeah, you can see the
Not
door.
just
This is
did you hear what it said? It wasn't a global scientist, it was the global scientist. So, yeah.
The, and you all know who they are. I don't want to point it out.
It's like the it's flat Earth's opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you imagine the battle that they're going to be having? The global scientists and
this
the flat
guy would-
earthers.
Oh, this dude would. I mean, the jets and the sharks. Like
Yeah.
Pocket protectors flying everywhere.
Yeah.
People just getting their ass kicked.
The Hamas and the Israeli.
Yes,
I'll let you guys. I'll let you
yeah.
guys decide who's the Hamas on between the two.
Skullet is the less known
it
cousin
would make
of the
sense
mullet.
that it's the flat earthers,
Yes.
considering that Gaza is basically flat now.
Oh,
Shoot.
okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. I just muted myself for no reason. Okay, let's go.
Because you had a racist joke.
I'm wired everywhere.
Is it supposed to be 3 frames
I
a
want to
second?
thank my wife because if it wasn't for her, I would not be speaking any longer. I want to just give you a brief background on how this all started for me. I grew up, for the most part, in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and my grandparents had a cabin up in Woodstock, Michigan, which is in northern Michigan. And we were up there in August of 1964, and
Actually, it's
I
closer to
experienced
central
missing time.
Michigan.
We had gone out to play into the fields, and I lay down in the tall grass, and I can remember throwing chestnuts out of the way to create a place for myself to lay. And when I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was almost going on 9 o'clock.
Oh my God.
And I remember getting up and running back to the picnic area where the family was, and there was a
By the way,
police dog, a Michigan
your
State
friends are
police car
assholes.
there. And
Yeah, no, friends, family, all of them are just like, screw him, let's go.
Right? Like, oh, he's asleep.
Yeah.
Don't wake him.
No, they didn't
He'll
even
be
see him,
fine.
dude. They didn't
How
even
old
see
was
him.
he
It's
when this
tall
happened?
grass. Yeah, like 12,
Let's just
11.
abandon him,
Six.
in the wild. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be
There's a
fine.
huge forest preserve in the middle of Elk Grove Village, Illinois.
Oh,
So it
we
would be
got a
really
local.
funny. Well, yeah, because I work in Elk Grove Village and my sister lives in Elk Grove Village. It's like
Do you
literally
know
like the next town
Alex
over.
Collier?
Alex Collier I've heard of before, but
Do
I
you
don't
know
know
his
if
grandparents? Because that's where his grandparents lived.
Did you guys ever have a
No, I
picnic
can't say.
together in tall grass?
We could have if he came to my grandparents' family picnic. We would have in that same woods
That's
every year.
holy
Could
crap.
he be a cousin?
So
By the, real
Are
quick,
you into guys with skullets?
real quick, like he said he had to move the acorns to make room for him in the
Chestnuts.
No,
field.
they were chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Oh, sorry,
Chestnuts.
chestnuts. Do
Yeah, 'cause
those
they
grow in the
launch.
grass?
Oh, you don't know about
It-
chestnuts? When they fall from trees, they actually don't fall. There's this little chemical that they shot out of the tree and they
Are
fall
you
into
fucking
the
with
middle of
me?
the field. No, I am totally
No,
fucking
no.
with you.
It's
Oh,
it was
But no,
that
but
was the
seriously though,
most
when that
authoritative I've ever heard you,
yeah.
Scotty. I honestly believed it as well.
Oh
Because
shit!
it
I
was
it's
was
like
almost as bad as
you finally
walnuts.
had your moment. You're like, yes, I know something they don't. I'm going to prove it.
Right. I was like,
And then
oh,
Chestnuts are
immediately
almost
gave
as
up the
bad as
ghost.
walnuts.
chestnuts. Now chestnuts are the spiky ones. Which ones are the
Mandy's
ones
gone.
that it?
No,
Okay, because there are some of these that fall and they have like they look like
Mm-hmm.
like a pufferfish. I don't even know. They're just
Yes,
spikes.
pufferfish. Good example.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a pufferfish with all the spikes. They're terrifying when they fall. Actually,
you know, it's pecan. Soul assassin.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, yeah.
So this guy here, he released a video today,
No.
5 hours ago, and it has nearly 3 views on it. So he's a
Alex
pretty big internet
Collier?
person.
Wait, what was
Yep.
what was the
He
topic
reveals
about?
Uranus and Neptune are saltwater worlds.
Oh my god.
We could live on
Are
that. We
we
could
on-
live there.
Well, we will get to that one next week because this guy. Oh, wait a minute. All right, Immortal says he's legit. Okay. All right. Well,
How do you know?
He knows.
And my folks and cousins, because it
Good
was
to
kind of
see
a
you
family
too,
thing, because everybody
Immortal.
goes back
I'm
to
glad you're
school.
here.
And I got the tar licked out of me for disappearing. And I told them where I had been, and they didn't believe me. So I took them back to where I was with the flashlights, and sure enough, there was my body imprint, and they swore they had been all through that area looking for me. It wasn't until age 14 that I actually understood what had happened
Oh my
then.
god, he got kidnapped by
You
aliens.
fell
I
asleep.
went to bed. It was just a normal night. It was in October.
No, he's in a
When I-
Oh, he
I
slept
woke up,
walk.
and there were 2 men looking down at me. And
That's
we were
terrifying. As a
human
kid.
beings, except they have no hair. And their skin is light blue, or at least Moranet, the very large one. His skin is
Oh
light
yeah,
blue.
Hare
Casillas is the
Krishnas.
elderly one, and
I've
I'll
met them.
Yeah, those guys are
Hey.
crazy though.
Hang on though. Just like what he did then, he's doing now. Remember when he first said it? He was like, "So yeah, went laid down in the grass or whatever, and then I woke up and it was almost 9 p.m."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So if he was asleep in the bed,
What are you talking about in the bed? He was in the grass.
no. He
No,
said
he's already
that.
called them back. He's already back at the cabin.
Yeah,
No.
No, they took it. He took them back to the field to show him where he slept.
Right.
And they were like, "We walked right past this," and he was like, "But this is where I was." But he got abducted by aliens. That's why they
when he
didn't
was in
find
his
him.
bed, and then
No.
they returned him at 9 p.m.
All right, let's go back. Did he say bed?
Also, this guy,
And I remember
Alex
getting
isn't
up
his
and
real
running
name.
back.
His real name's Ralph.
Well, Alex is better. All right, let's go.
Yes,
Wrong
Ralph
choice.
Ralph
to
Amigo
where the
or
family
Amigo
was, and there
or
was
something
a
like that.
police dog, a Michigan State police car there, and
You didn't
my
go back.
folks and cousins,
I
because it was
did.
kind of a family thing, because everybody goes back to school. And I got the tar licked out of me for disappearing, and I told them where I had
See?
been, and they didn't believe me, so I
Yeah,
took them back to where I was.
I don't understand what the hell you're talking about, dude.
Go back. Keep going.
All right.
Right there.
Right there. He's gonna say he laid down in the field.
Yes.
I grew up, for the most part, in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and my grandparents had a cabin up in Woodstock, Michigan,
My
which
grandparents
is in
were
northern
Jan.
Michigan. And we were up there in August of 1964, and I experienced missing time. We had gone out to play into the fields, and I
You hear
laid down
this?
in the tall grass, and I can remember throwing chestnuts out of the way
Yep.
to create a place for myself to lay. And when I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was almost going on 9 o'clock.
It was almost
And
going
I
on 9
remember
o'clock.
getting up and running back to the picnic area where the family was, and there was a police dog, a Michigan State police car there, and my folks and cousins, because it was kind of a family thing, because everybody goes back to school. And I got the tar licked out of me for disappearing, and I told them where I had been, and they didn't believe me, so I took them back to where I was with the flashlights, and sure enough, there was my body imprint, and they swore they had been all through that area looking for me.
Okay, what did we miss?
Keep
He
going.
didn't once mention the bed.
Yeah,
Keep going.
It wasn't until age 14 that I actually understood what had happened then. I went to bed. It was just a normal night. It was in October. When
Okay, see,
I
now
woke
he's
up,
talking about a
and
different
there were 2
instance.
men.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
talking- yes,
Yes, he is. He said
talking
when he
about
was 14,
He
and now he's
didn't
talking
realize
October, which
until
back
he
to
was
school.
14.
right. And
What
when
had
he was
happened?
14, they were in his bedroom, and I'm guessing he's going
No.
to tell us that they took him. Just could we get a
This is
little
why it should
farther,
be
please?
diagrammed. He
No.
said,
I know what he said. Could we just listen a little farther?
It's not a mad tap if we don't do the same thing 5 times.
Okay, just let it go for just a few more, like 2 minutes, and I promise
Okay,
he's going to
sure.
tell us at 14 they came into his room, and then they told him that they've already taken him once before when he was younger. All right, here we go.
Even though he's already said, I realized, I didn't realize until I was 14
Right,
What had really happened?
what had
Yeah.
really happened.
right.
So
But
it's not a
if they
different
come and tell him,
incident.
that's not him realizing. That's them telling him. That's not realizing what happened.
He's saying, I didn't realize what happened the missing time when I was younger until I was 14, because this experience he's just about to talk about at 14, they told him what happened when he was younger, because he only knew he was laying in the field. He fell asleep, and why no one found him, he didn't understand why.
Oh, okay, all right.
I've just sent him a
Looking down
DM
at
to
me.
see if he wants to come on next week.
Oh my God, please do.
And they were human beings, except they have no hair. And their skin is light blue, or at least Morinay, the very large one. His skin is light blue. Phaseus is the elderly one, and I'll give you a brief background on them. Has turned white because of his age, but they are blue skinned. They say that they are our cousins, and that we actually have some of their genetics inside of us. They originally came from Lyra, as all human life did in our galaxy. Human life does exist in other galaxies as well. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Okay. I was taken out of bed many times. I was given information. I was given physicals. I was given brain scans. I was shown, they put a little cap on my head and they showed me who I was in past lives and my direct connection to them and my connection to the earth. And then there were no more contacts after age 14. There was one at 16, but it was a physical. I was not awakened. It wasn't until 1985.
So there was contact.
Contacts started again.
There was, yeah.
On a regular basis. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, just to give you an idea of where I was in 1985, I had worked for a few years for the Internal Revenue Service.
Why is that funny?
I had been a tax collector.
I hear that's a good job.
Oh, it's funny because he almost got jailed for tax evasion and fraud.
Oh,
How do you know so much about him already?
I've been trying to get you to watch this guy's videos for ages.
You've never sent me one of his links.
Wow.
That's a Mandela effect.
that is.
And I'm ashamed to say it, but I was a good tax collector. And for the lady and the people who are talking about the IRS, I'm just going to give you this while it's hot and it's fresh. I was assigned to a task force that was supposed to do undercover work for oil company fraud. And our training was to be in Washington, D.C. And while I was there, I used my security pass to get into the National Archives. And you're not allowed to really make copies of things when you're in the National Archives unless your security clearance was much higher than what mine was. And I'm going to tell you this as having been with the Internal Revenue Service. The Internal Revenue Service is a Puerto Rican trust. It is a 3-tier trust. I don't know what the 3rd tier is, which is the bottom line, but it's Internal Revenue Service, Puerto Rican trust number 62. And I can't tell you what the 3rd one is because it wasn't there.
I have that information.
Great. People need to know.
All right, I'm confused. What was that all about? Did anybody get that?
There's 3 levels of trusts. He knew there was another one there, but it wasn't there.
Okay.
Also, none of the federal
Understand?
income tax laws are actually in the Federal Register. Therefore, they are not laws. They are codes. You also need to be aware of that.
Yeah, taxes are actually
anyway,
illegal.
I left the Internal Revenue Service and I opened up my own accounting practice. I started helping people with IRS collection problems because that's not something that you can learn going to tax school or going to a university. You have to have on-the-job training. Well, I started my practice, took the CPA exam. For 5 years, I had a practice in Beverly Hills and Malibu. I was living on a 700-acre horse ranch in Malibu at the time the contacts restarted. Now, within 2 months of the contacts restarting, I totally walked away from my tax practice. And I just realized that a lot of it was just BS. And it just wasn't working for me. I had made some major shifts in a very short time.
So this
the
is
contacts have been relatively continuous.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how there's so many parallels to things in our own history, like Luke.
Did he?
Who was
he
a tax collector.
Oh, I thought you meant Luke Skywalker. Okay, yeah. No, Luke. Yeah, no, Matthew was the tax collector. It wasn't Luke.
Was it Matthew? Yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
Matthew.
Matthew was
Yeah.
the Luke was the I'm using air quotes, historian.
Yeah.
And
And David was the ugly one.
He was an artist and whatever.
Talking about Mandela Effect, did you know that? And it's not really, but the pupils.
Matthew was the tax collector for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but did you know that the statue of David, the very famous one, his eyes, the pupils are hearts?
Really?
Yeah.
Now, David was one that knew he played the secret chord, right? That pleased the Lord.
Yes, that pleased the Lord. That's why he was anointed.
That's why he became king.
Actually, his singing and his playing was the only thing that can calm Saul down.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen.
Yeah, you need to see House of David.
Completely accurate.
House of David is fantastic.
Totally accurate too. I haven't checked it, but I think it is.
I'm not up to the fight yet, so.
It's such a good show.
Good
show.
Oh, I thought you said a stupid show.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
Mm.
I like how his father is so white. You can't hide it.
I mean, look, it's. I'm already, I'm already getting over the fact that he is so fucking ugly, David.
Yeah,
that his dad being so white just flew right past me.
He has the heart of a lion, and that's why that hot ass, princess found that ugly ass dude.
Jesus was white too, so it makes sense that
it does make sense because they are DNA, same family. Yep.
I don't know. I was told he was Mexican. He does gardening around Miami.
Oh, just because he was a quote unquote immigrant?
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I didn't even catch that reference.
Yeah,
we tried watching this movie. It was like a modern take on Jesus where he was a gardener.
Oh my. Oh my.
Good.
He was still called Jesus. So was the actor, actually.
Okay. That's
Jesus.
They're both physical as well as telepathic. And folks, some of this information is going to be enlightening. Some of it's going to really bother you. And I'm sorry to be the one to have to tell you that we have a very serious problem on our hands. Okay? And it is just not the federal government. It's not. There is a much bigger scheme going on here.
Yes, stop acting like it's just the federal government,
it involves
guys.
extraterrestrials who are interested in us as souls. You might refer to the Bible. You might refer to whatever text.
Or
souls.
Oh, souls.
Although, in your defense, they do seem very interested in our assholes.
I mean, probing is a big deal, but if they can't reproduce, they might not know that that's not where it happens. And maybe that's what they've been doing wrong.
They all get together in this group, and one of them's holding up some guy's asshole. And like, seriously, I don't know what this is for.
I think they make babies in there, but I'm still confused.
Right. If I had a dick, I would put it around it.
Interested in us as souls. You might refer to the Bible, you might refer to whatever texts or religion you have, but there definitely is a battle of good and evil going on out there. And part of it has to do with us and our solar system because of its location and the minerals that are here. The regressives. And
it's not through the. Okay, no, that's not through the. It's not through the ass. You sit on a seat, and it takes your soul out. It didn't specifically say it goes through. I mean, that does make sense. There was a hole in the seat. He said, "Never mind."
Wait, I thought that was to smack your balls with a rope.
No,
that's only after you win a poker game.
Yeah, if you win at poker and you're just not quick enough to get out of there, that's what happens.
Don't get.
How do you come back from that too? I don't.
It's the one time you're like, thank God I have small balls.
Yeah.
They are codes.
Yeah,
or you just have a really cold, cellar that you're in.
Anyway, I left the Internal Revenue Service, and I opened up my. Sorry to be the one to have to tell you.
Okay.
That we have a very serious problem.
We're a little farther.
They don't care who you are inside. They don't care. As far as the federal government, we watched the movie Rob Roy the other night, and there was a line in that movie that sums it up perfectly. The government believes truth to be a lie undiscovered. But that's really where it's at.
Hold on, say it again.
That's really where it's at.
It's the truth
is a lie undiscovered.
Truth is a lie undiscovered.
Yeah, everybody says that. Dude, come on, it's common. I think
so everything's a lie then? So basically everything he's saying is a lie until we
Exactly.
Wait a minute, let's hear it one more time.
Okay, be really clear when I say this. We are a natural resource to them.
Okay.
They don't care who you are inside.
Nope.
They don't care. As far as the federal government, we watched the movie Rob Roy the other night, and there was a line in that movie that sums it up perfectly. The government believes truth to be a lie undiscovered.
Government believes truth is a lie undiscovered.
This is why we need Kite to fucking map this shit out.
It must make sense somehow.
Yeah, truth is a lie undiscovered.
Yeah. You're
So
explaining
nothing
to
is
us 'cause
real.
nothing is okay. Maybe that's it.
I
All
mean,
right.
I think Nietzsche kind of had a better take on it, which is like everything everything is subject to interpretation, and whichever interpretation prevails is a function of power and not truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like that description.
I'm too sexy for this shirt. Too sexy for this shirt. I don't remember the rest. All right.
So
So
sexy,
sexy,
it
it
hurts.
That's really
It,
worth
it does hurt.
They are so
My
screwed up
nips.
that I don't believe they even really remember what the bottom line is now. Okay. If some of you are familiar with Hoagland's information, I think Richard does a good job, but I'm just going to share with you a personal experience that I had with Richard in Los Angeles. I was speaking in Los Angeles. I've spoken along the West Coast quite a bit, in Texas.
West Coast.
And there was somebody from Showtime who was doing a private screening in a hotel room of the movie Roswell, the Showtime movie Roswell that they put together. Well, I was invited to go in there. Well, Richard was sitting in the back on a chair. And I'm not reading any more into this. I'm just sharing with you my experience with him one-on-one. I sat down to him and I just looked him straight in the eye, and he didn't have a clue who I was. And I said, Richard, why don't you tell people that the moon is an artificial satellite? And he just looked at me and he says, I'm not ready to. All right?
Wait, he said this to the guy he's not ready to
That's the only one
identify?
I have. I think it's
No. I don't think that's what he said.
I sat down to him and I just looked him straight in the eye, and he didn't have a clue who I was. And I said, Richard, why don't you tell people that the moon is an artificial satellite? And he just looked at me and he says, I'm not ready to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's my personal experience. It's the only one I have. I think his information is good. But I'm telling you, from my own experience, he's withholding. And I don't understand why he's withholding.
I can verify
But
that.
wait,
Okay?
that's
Because
not your
you
experience. If you're saying that he said, I'm not ready to, that's my experience. That's why I think he's withholding. No, that's what I know because he told me he's withholding.
Well, and that's he just said it in a weird
Unless
way.
this is a lie undiscovered, that is.
Ooh, I guess it depends on the power dynamics between the two.
me, our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren are the ones at stake here.
Oh,
You know,
real
we
quick.
don't have anywhere else to go. We don't have any
Sorry,
place
I
to
want to
hide.
respond to
This
that.
planet is our home. It's our home.
I can do it later, I guess.
And I'm just trying to help. I only have a piece of the puzzle.
I wanted to respond to
Oh, I'm
he
sorry.
has the best responses for the Mandela effect.
Mhm.
If those responses are anything other than, yeah, no, it's all bullshit. It's just memory things. There's reasonable explanations for all of them. If his response is anything but that, he does not have the
Do
best
you think
responses.
this guy's going to have a take like that?
Well,
Really?
this is his
The
take
guy
because
that
Immortal
just said
said
that
it.
the moon isn't real, he's going to have a reasonable take on. No,
I
it'll
mean,
be
it's
something
real.
to do with
It's up
aliens
there. It's just
implanting
an artificial
germs in
satellite.
Uranuses or something.
He's not saying it's not there. He's saying it's there. It's just an artificial
Yeah,
satellite.
it came from a different planet.
I mean,
Planet with 4 moons. We got one of them.
No, there was a lot more moons, and they brought
It was
here.
in the
I
moon
mean,
exchange
it's
program.
definitely hollow. Mhm.
Wait, our fucking moon is a goddamn illegal immigrant? Because I don't remember we inviting it to our universe.
But it's
Well, no,
white.
we have the ozone, which is a wall that keeps it out. So
I
Mm.
think we need to expand that wall to cover our whole universe or galaxy or whatever
Mm.
we're in.
Puzzle. I don't have the whole puzzle. I think if I did, I'd be dead long time ago. But I'm going to share with you stuff that I have been guided to that's on the far side of the moon. I don't deal with the visible side. Because as the right hand is moving here, the left hand's doing something else.
Yeah,
Well, the left hand
that's
is the
true.
far side of the moon. If you remember the movie Apollo 13, if you remember the movie Apollo 13, what? Move over? Oh, it's the lights. Okay. Do you remember the movie Apollo
He's
13?
bugged.
All hell's broken loose. They don't know if they're getting home, but they were so concerned about checking out
I'm
and taking pictures of the
concerned
far side of the moon.
how bad the
And here's-
global scientists are at audio.
Yeah, well, this is 1996. Okay, so let's just give him a break.
And if you notice the microphone he's got on is wired. That's why he kept coiling in his hands.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
just
he's
trying to make a
talking
joke.
about
Sorry.
the shift in reality that the guy, who's the guy, the one he was talking about that he like was like, why don't you tell him that the moon's fake? Is that what we're talking about? I'm so confused.
No.
Okay.
No, the guy
They are.
in '93, he apparently created a machine that can change reality and then disappeared off the face of the planet.
Oh, the dude with the almost the same hair, but he had a mullet, a real mullet.
A real mullet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there,
And then,
dude. Yeah.
and then
He
all
called
of a sudden,
in. He
skeleton
was,
for a thing.
yeah. And then, yeah, that guy, it was more of a time machine. I don't think it was like a reality changer.
Well, no, it was a reality changer, but he changed
Oh, okay.
reality to make everyone think that it was a time machine.
Oh, shit. That blew
Hold
my
And
on,
he
mind.
didn't. The government didn't get him. He just made it so he didn't exist in this plane.
But
all
some
right,
people
listen.
remembered.
There are there could be infinite amount of different galaxies and all kinds of shit, right? So the chances of there being another planet that has the moon disk and the sun disk are both the same
Yeah.
size.
Yeah. No other.
How could there? I mean, yeah, no. There's
That we
infinite
know
fucking-
of. That we know
right.
of.
Okay. Even then, what does that prove? That
Well, I mean, there are some
the
interesting
less
facts.
than 0.5% of, you know what I mean, of our
It is
universe that
interesting,
we've
though.
seen.
It is interesting where it's exactly 1/6 the size. It is any other moon's pretty much a rock unless it's frozen. We're the only
Wait, are you saying the
planet-
moon's not rock?
no, like a rock, like just you know what I mean. Don't play with me now, sir. The moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun, and it's 400 times distance from the sun. So that's why it can cover the sun on a
Right.
eclipse. We're
Okay.
the only planet that we have seen that when it does have a
400
satellite
times farther from
only
the
has
sun than
one.
what? That's not a measurement. It's 400 times further from the sun than what?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I can't think of it off the top.
400 times.
It's 400 times smaller, and the distance
smaller.
from the Earth to the moon and the distance to the sun to the Earth it's a 400 times difference. So yeah.
So it's 400 times 275,000 kilometers. Is what you're saying?
I don't know what kilometers are. Speak English.
But he has a valid point, Grant.
Thank you. He's going to start saying stones and hands. I don't know what the hell you're
The
talking
moon
about.
is
It's miles.
closer than the sun. Yes, it is.
Yes, it
closer
is. It
to
is.
us than the sun.
That is
correct.
That is pretty interesting. But because of the relative size to the distance, that is the only reason it can cover, and it can't do a full eclipse like it used to be
Right.
able to because it's gone farther away from the Earth. So
Okay,
that's
so
kind of a
what does
moot
this
point
say?
now. But
What-
the only thing I'm saying is that we're the only planet that we have seen that has a satellite that only
Mhm.
has one, which is weird. I don't know why that is.
No, it's 930 times the distance. I don't know why
Okay,
you
and
got
it's
400.
930 the times the size. Oh no, that's Earth. Is
No, it's 400 times
smaller.
the size and 930 the distance between Earth and that to the moon. It's 150 million kilometers or 93 million miles.
Mr. Google fast makes himself smart. No,
I mean,
isn't the
I
Earth
use
appreciate it.
400
ChatGPT.
times? No, isn't the Earth 400 times smaller than the
You
sun?
just-
I might
You
have
just said the
screwed that
moon.
up. Yeah, I fucking screwed it up. I don't think Chat GPT
This is why we need a
correct.
moonologist on the show.
Thank you, sir. Because it's not real. Why would we have a moonologist for a fucking artificial satellite? Let's talk about this. It is
Okay, well, let's get an
hollow,
artificial satelliteist.
Yeah,
and he's
I
right
was about to
there.
say, yeah, we need a satellite ologist. Yeah, All right, we keep going.
Oh,
Or may not get home.
Scott's getting
But their
frustrated.
focus wasn't on getting home. It was seeing what was on the far side of the moon.
no.
That is a true enactment, folks. Now I'm going to show you some of the things that are there. Now these are
This is
so
why
you
I
may
don't
have
like to
trouble
talk to
adjusting your eyes
science.
to seeing some of this. Some of the things you will not have any trouble whatsoever. These photographs, I was told specifically where to look, were taken by the Lunar Orbiter 4 from August of 1966 to August of 1967. They show so much. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But if you don't know what you're looking
there's
for,
no
how do
way
they
our
show so
astronauts
much
miss
then?
this stuff. There's just no
Mm.
way. 21-mile bridges, 7-mile monuments, ships sitting in the middle of craters. I mean, you're going to see it. Okay.
Let's see it.
Show
I'll tell
us.
you what the Andromedans, Morinae, and Passaics have
No,
said
he's
about
not
the
ready
moon,
yet.
and I want to take questions, so I want to get through this. They have said that our moon is an artificial satellite. In fact, it is a spacecraft. Much of the debris on the surface was put there and was built purposely to make it look like what it isn't.
Mhm.
Okay, it is hollow. It is metal underneath it,
Mhm.
and it has the ability
Wait,
to leave our
It is
orbit
both
under its own
hollow
power.
and metal.
Yeah, well, it's
Underneath it?
hollow, and then the structure inside is metal with real earth on
okay.
top. I mean, there is some weird facts about the moon too. Like the older rocks
Sure.
are on top, and the younger ones are deeper. Now, that could be from impacts, maybe shooting out some of the deeper, but it is weird that the majority of every sample we've gotten of top soil and top rocks,
Mhm.
that is older than what we've gotten that was deeper, the samples.
How do they measure I mean, how do they figure out what's older and what's newer?
You know what, dude?
Because there's no
Science.
oxygen for it to decay.
Then why
right?
is it rusting?
It's not.
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you back, Chat GPT, Grant McGregory.
It's not rusting. Who said it
It
was
is.
rusting?
It is rusting. It has gotten darker in color because of rusting. That's what science says. I don't know who science is, but science has said it.
Yeah. This is his whole video.
Yeah, it is the same guy. Same guy. Funny thing, do you actually trust the evidence that NASA gave us? No, I don't. I really don't.
I feel like the burden of proof would be on someone
Yeah, I don't think we
trying to
can carbon.
debunk their evidence.
We can't
'cause
carbon date rocks. So
Why shouldn't we trust the evidence that NASA has given us?
because I mean, look at the evidence of Mars. They made it look different in color so that it had a red sky because it's the
Okay.
red, it's the red planet.
Is
So
that
they
why
do
they did it?
stupid. Yeah, that's why they
They
did
do the
it.
same thing for Mexico, except they make it orange.
Oh, I just thought it was orange. Wait a minute. It's not orange? All I know is fucking Mars looks more like New Mexico than Mexico. Think
So
about that.
it looks more like old Mexico.
No.
No, Long John. NASA is National Aeronautical Science Association.
No, he's saying in Hebrew.
Right, I get that. But that is you know what he's doing.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see that NASA in Hebrew, primitive root to
Right.
lead astray.
But we're not talking about the Hebrew. We're speaking of the acronym NASA.
It stands for other things. Okay, but NASA.
I mean, also, why would you do that? Why wouldn't it? Why, if they were gonna give it a name, why not give it a name like Honesty or something?
Right?
That would be great. That would be great.
Aeronautics and Space Administration. Thank you,
Yeah.
Adiga.
No, I think you had it right the first time.
It
It felt
sounded
right
better.
when I said it.
Sounded better to me, but whatever. Mars is bigger than they tell
Okay,
us. I
so
did not know that.
here's something to think about.
Okay, let's think.
When they first say, "Oh, the Mars is so much blah blah blah," right? And then more evidence and more data they collect, and they're like, "Actually, it's this big." That's not that they lied to us. They were working off of the information that they had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And as our ability to gather data from fucking planets, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we've landed on it. We have satellites going around it, so
right.
we've probably gotten better
Yes.
measurements. You're saying
that is the foundation of science, is to disprove science. It's
oh, wait a minute, no, not in archaeology. Sorry.
So
archaeology is just
who's paying this guy?
The good question. I think no one. I think
Me or
The
the
global
dude on
scientist.
the dude that's doing a conference?
Oh, he's talking
and
about you. Yeah, Sir Angus, I hear you. I would
you're right.
ask the
Yeah,
same
big
question about the
alien,
Australian.
big
Big
aliens paying me.
Why didn't I say big archaeology? Shit. All right.
Okay, but I made a promise, and we want to have a family, and I have pieces of the puzzle, and if I don't do anything about it, then I'm just as guilty as the NSA astronauts and the Russian astronauts that have been on the moon and been on Mars since 1958. Okay, lights, please.
Since 58, guys. I didn't know that. The secret space program.
Here we go. Okay, our galaxy. Let me raise it up.
Raise it up.
No, we need something, a videotape or something put underneath.
You gotta love it. It's 1996. Put a videotape under it.
Brian,
VHS.
can I ask Brian something?
Yeah.
Who did you hear that from, and why do you think that they are a reliable source rather than the scientist that we've had? You know what I mean? Like, I guess mainstream scientists. Why are they more credible?
Science. I do agree with what you're saying there, and I'm not saying the scientists or the people Brian are talking about are more credible. But I will say that I don't want to belittle anybody's thoughts on, you might support big science and big archaeology, and Brian doesn't. But
What I'm asking, but what I'm trying to get at,
I know what
is
you're trying to get at.
why, when you hear them, you give them more credibility than mainstream science? Is it just because they're not mainstream, you put more faith in what they're saying?
And that's a good question, man, because I do believe some of the things that Graham Hancock, I believe a lot what Randall Carlson says. I do believe our timeline should be pushed back. There were other civilizations that, because of time, we lost evidence of them. When it comes to like stuff like this, there have been times where NASA has released a photo and people said they found something on it, and then all of a sudden they take the photo back, and when the photo comes back, it looks different. Hollow Earth, the first satellite image of the North Pole showed a massive hole at the top of the planet. Hollow Earth. Like I think I sent those to you guys last week in our DM. So like, I understand why people question science, because they say you have to believe us. While I think people on the fringe say you don't have to believe me. This is the evidence I have. And people make up their own minds. And I don't think people are dumber for that. I just think it's hard sometimes.
That's not what I'm saying either.
And haven't we been proven what we believe is true is wrong generations later? I mean, at this point, the whole idea of questioning is how you do the science.
Yes,
No.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Yes.
but
Yeah, you
that
said
same, but that same standard that we have for mainstream about questioning them, which I do agree with, for some reason, it doesn't really apply to the people on the fringe.
A lot of people, you're right. You're right.
That's
I can't
what I'm
deny
getting
that.
at.
They're told somebody gets up with David Hancock. I think it's not Hancock, David Wilcock, and tells us he's in a secret space program. And then 5 years later, he sues people because he says that's part of his story. It's his intellectual property. So like, that to me means this dude's bullshit. Goodman, something like that.
Yeah, it's
so
just
it muddies the waters. There are a lot, but there are people that worked for defense organizations and worked
absolutely.
for NASA that are saying they're hiding stuff from us.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I
think those
do
are the people
believe
he
that the
listens to a
government
lot.
is hiding a lot
Yeah.
of mad trust no one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So why are
But
you're
right,
spitting out this shit that you've heard someone say as if it is fact, when if someone says something that NASA said, you're like, fuck that shit. That's bull.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'll give Brian something. He has been researching this stuff for a very long time. So what he believes, he believes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm asking, what is the difference between, why are the standards different? How far did you investigate? Like,
Yeah, that's true. Like, we don't know. How
But
far did you go into
again,
it?
though, it doesn't even work, right? Because if you already distrust mainstream science, if you're going to try to question some fringe guy, what are you gonna compare it against? Like, what is your
Proof.
well, yeah,
His
not
proof.
proof, but no. If you're questioning somebody on the fringe, what are you going to test him against? Because if you do
It
not
would have to
trust
be the other side.
mainstream,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I
But
see
if
where
you
you're
don't
going.
trust mainstream science going in, there is nothing for you to hold it accountable to, or nothing to hold it against.
Mhm. That's a valid point, man. I haven't thought of it that way. See, I like to go I'm kind of in the middle. There are certain fringe things that I am completely behind. Because big archaeology and things like that, academia has proven to me time and time again, like Tina just said, that they stick their freaking, they put a line in the sand and then they're proven wrong 20 years later after they destroyed some dude's career who was already telling us this was fact and had proof of it. When it comes to, space, it's a little tougher. Like he's saying we were already on the moon in 58, I think he said. I don't believe that. I don't know if we actually made it to the moon the first time they said we did. NASA today says we don't have the science to get through the radiation belt and how to get back to the moon because we lost it in a flood, or someone didn't transcribe it over
Dude,
from
floods that happen in skyscrapers are very common. I told you that.
yeah, they do. And then there's, when in the 60s we took off to go to the moon the first time, why wouldn't you launch from somewhere where you didn't have to go through the most intense part of the um, radiation belt? Like it made no sense that we were able to get out through that without those guys all getting fried
Because they
up.
stopped
with
making things
radiation.
out of lead. That was the problem.
Mm,
That seems like that would be a problem.
yeah.
I don't know if you've
But
ever.
I hear what you're saying, but that's why some people question it's, you see photos and like of the moon and it's like, wait a minute, that looks like that picture looked fake of the first moon landing. And you're just told that's stupid. Believe what we're telling you.
No, that's
think-
not what people
No,
say.
not you. Well, they do. They do.
What?
That's stupid to not believe that we actually went there. There are,
But that's not the only voice out there. Like there's
Right.
been
I hear
plenty of
what you're
people
saying.
to explain. When you see pictures of the boots and like where are the ridges on the boot, like on the footprint on the moon, right? Gotcha. No moon landing. No, dummy. There's a cover that goes over the boot, which is where the ridges are.
Mm-hmm.
And the boot that you're looking at with the picture doesn't have that cover over it. So yes, it's smooth.
Right. No, I'm not. I'm just bringing up. I'm bringing up points.
If someone
Slender
got the
says, "No
Vatican
sports are
archives,
wrong." What kind of radiation? I don't know. The Van Allen radiation belt.
space radiation. If
It's
somebody
the Van
got
Halen radiation belt.
if
That
somebody
got
got
Eddie. It got Eddie.
if somebody got all the archives in the Vatican, would you believe them?
Well, I mean, if you
No.
got to read ancient archives, that would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So why would you
Yeah,
put
but
more?
who can read Sumerian to be able to know what it says anyway?
Truth. You're right. Do
But
I
why
believe the
would
guy
you,
who says
even
he
if you
translated?
could, why would you give that more credence, more credit, or more put more like trust in that than you do
Because they
mainstream
want
science?
to believe it.
Ah, there
Yeah,
we go.
I didn't want to finally get there, but yes, people want to believe that. They want to believe it because they felt lied to from the other side. Let's just say.
All right.
I'm no longer playing the game. I'll be straight with you. You're right. You're right. People should question both
Because
sides. Right? You should question both
Yeah.
sides and ask them to show you proof. Because a hypothesis is just that. You need to be able to your whole job in science is to prove somebody wrong. It's not
Yes.
to prove them
No,
right.
it's
to
to prove
them
yourself
wrong.
wrong. And when you
Yeah.
can't, that means
Well,
that's
you
true.
should.
That's
Yeah,
that's the whole point of
it's
a
never
hypothesis.
true.
You're not trying to prove your hypothesis, right? You're trying to prove it wrong. And when you can
You
Correct.
should.
no longer
Right.
prove it wrong, then it's considered true.
No, it's never considered true. It's considered your proven hypothesis, but it's not proven. It's not proof. It's not solid.
No, that's why I
because-
said it was considered true.
okay,
I didn't say it
considered
was the
true.
truth.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right. Good point.
Until
Sorry about that.
something comes along in science that made this prove that. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But there are plenty. Okay, I'm sure there's plenty of examples people can bring up of cover-ups in history, science covering something up, archaeology. But why do you take those instances and you're like, oh, that means all of them are full of shit?
Right.
Because it's harder to argue against the all the points. As long as you can just try and win one tiny little argument, you can conflate it to everything else. That's what
Because
everyone does.
you wouldn't believe they wouldn't hold the opposite true though. If I can show you one or two examples where they were telling the truth, that doesn't mean that therefore all the lies that they told were true.
Right.
Yeah, I
you're
know.
right.
That's just because that's humans that are interpreting it, and we're idiots.
Right. So saying that they cover up and they lie for, their narratives or whatever, that means nothing.
What are the
Because
narratives, though?
You can show where they were right about all these other things, so that doesn't automatically dismiss the lies either.
Right. And also I think the belief that it's not like all of NASA. There is
Vatican
a small
has
group that other people, like a small group that lies and keeps things, and when you get whistleblowers saying, oh no, I worked on this film and it showed this. And then when they showed it to the public, it wasn't there anymore. Like it all adds to people believing, okay, they're completely lying to us.
Vatican has their own space program.
I am not taking, dude, Slender. I am not taking
don't
that
think he's
risk
talking about you.
to the extreme. No, I know what he's talking about. The Van Allen belt where we crossed it was
Van
it
Halen.
is- yeah, Van Halen belt. We went through the most intense part on Apollo. Like if you were actually trying to be
Yeah, and look,
smart
where's Neil
about it,
Armstrong now? There you go.
Yeah.
That's how dangerous it is.
yeah, killed him. What, like 30, 40 years later?
Well, that's based on if you thought they really did it.
Yeah, right. If they really did, they didn't, right? The first one definitely no. So it is extreme. It is intense. It is dangerous. They still don't know how to go through it now. That is the biggest problem they're having right now. Because electrons can go through airtight, compartments. I
What
mean,
about
come
lead?
on, man. Stop trying to make me look like an idiot. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Van Halen belt.
I want to get back to the Vatican having their own space program.
Love you,
By
Slender.
space program, is that a
They
Earth
do?
only space program?
Yeah,
Because
please fire.
I
What do you
feel
mean?
as though somebody would have noticed a cross-shaped rocket exiting our orbit.
I think
You know what I
their
mean?
their space program, it's upside down. Their space program is more of the telescopes, because isn't there a
Hey,
telescope
Jane.
in the Vatican? Or
That's
not
not a
in the
space
Vatican?
program. That's a telescope.
Well, maybe they consider it that. The particles, dude.
Vatican's in with the Chinese, and the Chinese have been to the moon more recently than anyone.
Oh, come on. The Chinese and Catholics working together. Now you've gone too far.
The Chinese, and they only landed a probe or something, right?
That's
They
correct.
took
yeah.
pictures of the dark side and they didn't release them for some reason.
Yeah, they set up
Lucifer is
another
the
wish factory
telescope's
over
name.
there.
there's a Nike factory up there. All right, Slender, explain to me how not dangerous it is.
There are two different conversations going on.
Oh no, because he won't stop. He always does this
Hi,
to me.
Jane.
He always tries to prove me wrong, like a hollow earth isn't real. Like he's crazy. This guy, he's crazy. You know why? Because he was in the Navy and he's lying for them.
Lucifer is the telescope's name. Can we get a fact check on that?
No, it is. It is
What
called
the Vatican's
Lucifer. Telescope
telescope
is
is named Lucifer.
Yeah, Lightbringer.
Did they not think?
You know
Man,
what? Whoever named
there are
it was like,
people out
we're
there.
gonna get them.
Like I feel like is it a troll? Because they know that people think Vatican are all like secretive.
Well, the Catholic Church is known for their excessive trolling of everyone.
It's actually a Catholic, a Jew, a Nazi build a space program.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the last three
Nazis were
popes.
involved.
Okay, apparently the Vatican has an observatory.
Sorry, I missed.
But it never did
Dude.
have a telescope named Lucifer.
No shit.
Wait, say it
I
again.
know I read that somewhere. Hold on.
Can you give that to me again, Tina?
It says, from time to time here at Answers in Genesis, we get inquiries about a telescope called Lucifer that the Vatican supposedly owned. The story's been
feel dumb now.
circulated around the internet for nearly a decade. It sounds shocking, so it's a wonder why people ask, is there truth? Many people are surprised to learn the Vatican even had an observatory, but it says that they did not have a telescope named Lucifer.
Oh, the telescope
well.
I heard. Okay, there is a Lucifer, but it's in Arizona. My bad.
There you go.
Okay,
That's
true.
almost near Vatican
That's
City.
really close near the Vatican. There might be
Yeah.
a church down the street.
Well, all he said was the space program. Good faith Harry here. He
You're
strong
such a dick.
strongman Bill here. He said that the Vatican has their own space program, and then he said they have a telescope called Lucifer. He never said where that telescope was located because they could have a satellite office.
That's
And also,
true.
he never said that they
In
owned it. He
Arizona.
said they just
That
had
is
it
true.
in their
Yeah.
possessions.
Also, yeah. Ever heard of the Jesuits?
Oh, meet the
have.
Vatican scientists helping NASA. Hmm.
There
On
you
a
go.
historical
Everything you
page.
just said now is wrong because Scott found one article about a scientist.
Yep, your guys are all screwed now.
Didn't read
Brother
it, just saw
Robert
the headline.
Mackey. Brother Robert Mackey. Yeah, that's all I do, bro. Brother Robert Mackey, known to many of his colleagues as Brother Bob, is a Jesuit astronomer at the Vatican Observatory and one of the world's foremost experts in the study of meteorites. That's pretty impressive. So he's
Real
working
cool.
with Andy Ryan.
I love these two chats that are almost back to back. Last pope preferred Islam to Catholicism. Next one, the last pope was a Jesuit. Now look, those two things seem
know
to
why
be.
they work together. I know why Brian's saying that. He closed many dioceses
Mhm.
in predominant Christian Catholic areas, like in Paris and in other major areas, and he opened the door to Islam. He opened a dialogue with them. So I understand why there are a lot of people that hated him for what he did.
So he
So
was a
I
secret Muslim. The
I
most
don't know about
secretive
that.
of
I
Muslims
think he was maybe a Satanist that named a telescope Lucifer
in Arizona.
in Arizona. But they changed the name. Why is that?
Jesuits are suspicious as shit.
You need to go
Oh,
back
and
to a Polish pope.
Yeah. They also satellite where Pope Francis's words were launched back in 2023. Sepi Satellis. According to the Vatican, the miniature satellite called a CubeSat is now en route to a heliosynchronous orbit, approximately 525 or
I mean,
sorry,
you could show us the
0.62
article.
miles. I don't want you guys to prove me wrong. I don't know what the words were.
I get that.
That's pretty true. Because everything I've said tonight, Grant has slashed me, Slender's in it, trying to castrate me.
You got
a
me,
tough
baby.
night
You're
for me.
rock.
Thanks, bro.
It's Slender's birthday though, so I give him a pass.
Okay. He also introduced me to Slice of Life. I can't be mad at him for that.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God,
that
he's
a
still going
band?
on about protons and Jesus, Christmas. Shielding protects, but it also attack protons. Okay. How does a shield attack? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. All right.
How
Are
does
we
a
gonna
shield
watch
attack?
any more of this?
You hit the guy with it.
It-
You have a
That
shield
works.
wall.
That works. Okay, that works. No, the shield wall isn't attacking; it's defending,
No,
and then you
you
spear
have
him.
yes,
But you
have a
can
shield
hit a
wall,
guy
but
with
you-
a spear
right.
or a shield. I've watched Shield Hero. I know.
That's good. That's it. Thank you very much. Okay, we can lower that.
Oh, I brought up back game.
Here. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, according to the Andromedans, space travel has existed in our galaxy for 4.4 billion
Wait, according to
years.
who?
Okay, we are literally the new kids on the block.
We're the new kids.
All right. Now, what's interesting about our galaxy is all right.
You could edit
Is
it.
that the
Space
galaxy that
travel
we're
has existed
currently
for
in, or
4.4
is that
billion
another
years.
galaxy?
The interesting thing about our galaxy
How do they get the
is
picture?
the fact that we have many different races living here. in particular,
And
the
I
human
can't hear you,
race,
Scotty.
which we are a member of, and what we call the reptilian races, which we are not a part of,
Hello?
but who very much don't like us,
Yeah.
like the human race. Apparently, this battle that's been going on has been going on for approximately 3.8 billion years between reptilian races and human races. Many of the races that exist in our galaxy migrated originally
Wait,
from
so
Lyra during a war.
Okay.
Apparently,
is this a picture of our galaxy that because he's pointing at it as if is our galaxy that's being shown? Who took that photo?
Wow. Like someone else asked that earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't paused, so nobody heard it.
So say it again.
Okay, he's pointing at it as if he's like, so our galaxy here, blah blah blah. Who took that picture?
Oh, that's a good question. God?
Okay, I'll give you that.
I don't know. I'm trying to go make Slender look bad, but it's not working.
sometime in our ancient past, a group of reptilians were exploring, looking for minerals, looking for food resources. They came across a star system that was full of human beings who were agricultural in their nature, abundant food. They just had everything together.
Wait, pause.
And the reptilian races, they're called the sea.
Okay, there is a difference between there being an abundance of food, like sources for nutrients or whatever, than just because you're really good at cultivating and growing,
Mm-hmm.
it still has to be there. There has to be something for you to be able to or like you know what you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know.
Yep.
Right?
Say it.
So
Yeah. Keep going.
it's the reptilians with all of their technology, they were having to look for sources of food. I guess feel like he's leading into like, oh, look at these humans. The reptilians like, look at these humans. They're so good at food stuff, right? Like that's what we need. We need food.
Maybe they don't have any foodologists on their planet.
Maybe not.
Though if you did, I don't know.
Oh, I love that abandonment.
Oh,
He's muted.
All right.
Being known as the Draconans because they're from Alpha Draconis. And apparently they as a race were brought to our galaxy fully formed. Nobody knows where they came from or who dumped them there. But they were put there because it gave them
I
the
feel like
highest
that's some. If you're gonna make it all up, you can make that part up too.
Well, they are a
That's the
remarkable
thing. He
race.
said
They're
no one
incredible
knows
builders. They have an attitude
who
problem.
put them there,
And
but I'll
that
tell you the
is that
exact
they
reason
believe
why.
that
How
they
do you
are the
know?
dominant species and they control everything else. And they are also master geneticists.
Do you need somebody else to do the pausing of the video?
I'm sorry.
You're
he's in my head. He's in my head now.
He is living rent free in your shit.
Oh, rent free. Slender got me on this one. I screwed up. I didn't realize they say Apollo went through a minimal space, or their trajectory was minimal through the Van Allen belt. But then I sent one of the crazy people type ones for him, so he's like he has to read all these at least.
You can share mine, and I
will
will take care of the pausing. Oh, I gotta actually.
Yeah, I got it now. I got it. I'm done. He was right. I was wrong. We're good.
They have no interest in that. It's life forms.
Why are you so sarcastic
And they try
about
to
that?
control
I
life
don't believe
forms
you.
through manipulating their genetics.
Real
We
quick,
have also
Once he leaves, I'm going to tell everybody I was right. So
I do want to give Scott a whole bunch of credit because he's done something that is pretty rare during these conversations. He has looked up what he is claiming, saw that he was wrong, and rather than trying to move on to something else or ignore it or just dismiss it out of hand, he admitted to everyone right now.
See, the question that you've got to ask yourself now is, would this have happened unless he was called out earlier?
Who? Well, no, that's the thing. I had a hypothesis that I thought was actually ironclad, and he proved me wrong. So I
It should have been
checked it.
lead clad, then it would have protected you better.
Well, lead's not protecting shit. But anyways,
It protected Indy.
It did. I'm not acting like a politician, but he is
Or a
not
flat earther.
always right. All right, let's go.
been subject to that. I'm going to try to cover a lot here.
Please do.
Anyway, there was
Please
a
do.
war. They were attacked. Many of the human races fled to Alpha, to Antares, to the Pleiades, to Cygnus Alpha, to Andromeda, to Cassiopeia, to Sirius,
Wow.
to Procreon. All
They had a
They just-
lot of
Dude, they
space
went everywhere.
vehicles.
Yeah, well, they had to. They had to get out of there.
True. I wish that when they made it to us, they would have kept a couple around.
And then we could get through the Van Allen belt easier.
Mhm.
'Cause they're probably like really good at that.
No, we haven't fled Earth. They're fleeing to Earth, Jane.
Yeah, come on.
Eventually.
Yeah, because it's not flat. At least that's what they tell you. In your head, lizard, lizard, lizard.
In your head.
In your head, lizard.
Yes.
Scattered to the winds, trying to survive. Next slide, please. This is where our small little
With
area.
their probes and their probes.
located.
Sorry, go on.
That's so good, though. Yeah. Why did we come back? We didn't go anywhere. They came to us. But I guess human life came from a different planet.
Yeah.
He
They
told us
fled.
that.
Eventually, they get here during the gray human, reptilian, human, and then a little bit of gray war that goes on for 3.8 million years approximately.
Yeah, no, but don't forget the reptilians got here eight point something million years ago, and the Greys only got here about what 600,000 years ago. So it's very confusing.
Yeah.
That which we see in the sky, this is where it's located. As you can see, we are in the sticks, the boonies. We really are. And this is why we've been manipulated.
I don't think there's a
and
giant
missed it so
square
much
around us. I
as a-
think that's bullshit.
No, it's huge. It's a space wall. It's
Wait.
like made of ice. It protects us from the others.
Wait, are you saying that this photo is doctored? That arrow and square isn't?
You know, I don't even know if the actual galaxy he is saying is a real picture. I think he's trying to tell us this is what our galaxy looks like. He might have misspoke.
Universe or galaxy? I don't know.
This is our
Whatever.
galaxy. Our galaxy,
The
the
whole-
Milky Way.
The square or the whole spinning
No,
thing?
that's where we are in the galaxy. That's actually true.
Because there's
We're
like
on
250 billion stars in the Milky Way.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we're on like the tail end of one of like the whips, I guess you
This is
want
why
to
I
call
hate
it.
talking science on this.
planet and as a race. Because we have been, for the most part, considered insignificant.
Sure. I mean,
And then roughly 5,000 years ago, somehow they found out that we were no longer insignificant, and I will tell you why. According to the Andromedans,
what is?
in
Did we
our
ever figure out
physical
what the
form right now, in
Andromedans
our
is?
Those
They're
are
the
the
blue
aliens that hit
aliens.
They're
those.
the blue
Yeah,
ones.
the ones he's been in contact with, the Andromedans.
Yeah, they're from
It's difficult for me to take you at your word or like take what you're saying even remotely serious if your source is something you have not explained that needs explanation. If
Well,
your
here's
source,
the thing: if he's in such good contact with them, why didn't he get one of them to help with the speech?
well, because we're not
True.
ready.
They didn't
We're
have
not ready.
slides.
Yeah,
did
they
that-
would have had better pictures, right?
Did the eminence not
Should.
have a PowerPoint they could have gave you on a thumb, like a thumbnail?
Thumb
or
drives.
thumb
They
drive?
didn't
There
have
was no
thumb drives in
thumb drives then.
'93.
Needed a floppy disk.
Zip disks.
96.
Zip
Zip
disks,
disk,
maybe.
Zip disk.
They didn't
yeah.
have a PowerPoint on the zip disk.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
It
when they were
is.
abducting him
We-
and giving him all that info and
Mhm.
sharing their knowledge, they're like, also, here's a PowerPoint.
Can you imagine? Here's a PowerPoint is on punch cards.
I mean, he's
Okay,
probably
I'm such a
using.
geek. I found that really funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
someone
worked
out
in
there might
Guardians of the
laugh.
Galaxy too. Remember?
Yeah,
Ego did a
he
big
is.
PowerPoint presentation on how he banged everyone. So aliens can do PowerPoint presentations.
That's true.
true.
You're right.
And then he is working with Windows 95, which was pretty solid. I have to give
You
him
think when he was having all this shit happen to him, you think he was like, whoa, guys, you're gonna have to slow down so I can take notes because eventually I'm gonna share this info. Can you
know
sign
what?
here,
They don't
initial
care.
here?
that. Do they really care?
Then why they're telling him shit?
I don't know how much they told him.
Seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot.
I don't understand why the aliens always talk to guys like this, and not like the lead scientist of NASA or something.
Because you can't trust those guys. We just went through all
Or
this.
why not? Why not tell the global scientist?
He's part of it. So maybe they did.
I think what the issue is these conspiracy theories, like the flat earthers, the moon's not real, Earth hollow, all those guys, right?
Pump the brakes on the Earth Hollow one. Okay, go on though.
It's their fault that aliens won't talk to mainstream scientists because they know they will be discounted. So it's actually works it all works against itself in that way.
Yeah, like the first couple guys they talked to, they're like, "Well, we already screwed this up, so we can't." I mean, there is an old one that said they did actually speak to um Eisenhower, but he
Are you
was yeah
the Greada
Eisenhower.
Treaty?
Is that the one we were talking about? I don't know. Spork, you need to trust these guys.
Better than D's nuts.
Yeah, it is. I thought that's where he was going at first, and I was going to be hurt. But that's fine. This guy knows what he's talking about, though. I think.
Have within us the DNA of 22 different extraterrestrial races
Holy
who
shit!
have come down here and
Immortal said that
manipulated,
way.
who have
back then.
Man, if only
bred
we
with
could
us,
look at
who have
DNA.
tinkered with us, everything imaginable, and that somehow we have all this inside of us. Plus
And it
the
makes
fact
sense
that we're
because
coupled.
the SETI organization, I
Mhm.
forget what SETI stands for, says that there are up to 36 different, mathematically, there's up to 36 different alien races.
Inside of us?
Not inside of us, within the Milky Way.
Right,
Oh,
and
okay.
SETI is funded by the government,
I
right?
thought so.
Yeah. Search for
Well,
extraterrestrials.
now
The
there
search for
is
extra testicles, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Extra testicles.
You need that one extra because it really helps.
so there is something that's it's like dark matter, but it's biological, like it's in us. Like there's I
Yeah.
have to look up the info. It's been a minute.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
just called poo.
Yeah. And it
I
comes
have to
out.
look it up. I'll bring it up another time after I
Yeah.
look it up. Refresh.
Refresh. Refresh is always good.
With spirit. And this is something
Yeah,
that the
dude.
Greys have
That's
initiated.
Hold
Grant
on,
just
real quick,
jumped
Now I
out.
will cover that
because
as
I'm
well.
about to agree with someone who I have not agreed with yet.
Mhm.
The darkness does make his hair look better.
Yeah, it looks full, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yet when you turn on the light, you realize it's Plato's cave, but in hair.
Now, because we are the only race in our galaxy that has these genetics of 22 different races, because we are also spirit, they consider us royalty.
Oh,
The Andromedans consider us as royalty.
Nice. I'm glad
Now,
they treated
one of
us
the
like that.
and he
factors
kept
that they
kidnapping
look
you.
at, and the thing that totally awes them the most, is the fact that many of the more advanced races use technology to create things,
Mm.
to manifest things. The Andromedans are heavily use holographics. Whatever they need, they create holographically. It is physically there, but when they're done with it, they turn
But
off the
then it's
switch and
not
it's gone.
holographic.
It doesn't just sit there.
Yeah, they materialize something, and when they don't need it, they dematerialize. Sounds more
But-
like it, right?
I mean, that's not what he said. And
That's not what he
he's
said.
our
but-
source of this info.
Yeah, I'm just
So I
trying
have
to.
to take them on surface, right? So they use holograph technology to make things, and then it's really there, and they can use it.
Mhm.
Well, then that's not a hologram.
Yeah, no, it is not.
It's something
is-
else. So
It's something that
call it something
materializes.
else.
Maybe that's the only word he could think of in his speech at the time. Totally not a hologram, though. You're correct.
All right? Like if you go home and your couch, you go away for a year, that couch sits right there.
Does it? If you're not at your home, is your couch always there?
Oh,
like
like
the tree,
Schrodinger's cat.
You know? Yeah, kind of. It's like the tree in the forest. You know,
I guess what would be the equivalent to the poison for that couch, like that would eat it away, or the possibility of it? That doesn't matter. We can keep going.
yeah. But holographic enough for Star Trek. Has a point. That's it's a holograph deck, and everything in there is physically touchable. So
Yeah,
space-
holodeck, huh?
I don't know what it's called.
But
I
it's
don't
not
know.
really there either, even on a holodeck.
It's there. I mean,
They-
you physically could
they
touch it.
perceive it as it's being there,
No,
but they
no,
can't take it out of the room.
They can't. In the room, it's there and it's physical.
Okay, right.
And then it disappears.
But but that's the holograph or whatever it is isn't real. It's their perception of it being real within that room.
But the room, anything they interact with, like if they sit down at a table, if
It's
they're, whatever, it's actually there in the same way that the ship creates their food
Right. It's not
Whoa.
like
and everything else they
well, I don't
interact
know.
with.
Yeah, all I know is in the holodeck or whatever they call it, whatever the what they want to manifest through the holograph, I guess, becomes physical in that room. It's not like they're not moving and it's all happening in their mind. It's actually they're in that room. They don't just perceive it. It's physically the ability to sit, touch, taste.
Okay,
So,
two
I
things.
don't know.
One,
I mean,
I
it is
do not watch
science fiction.
Star Trek. I have I like the I'll put it like this. I like the J.J. Abrams movies, all right? So that discredits any information I have on Star Trek. Sorry. So I really don't have a place to stand on that. All I know is if it's holographic, it's not physical. That's just as far as I know. Solid light constructs. Okay.
That's a good point. You're right. Calling it the holodeck is probably not a good name for it.
Right.
Because
Right, but that's
you
what they
can
call it.
interact with what it is. Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Also-
Solid light constructions. Okay.
Also, if we're having to bring up Star Trek to try to
I
lend
was
credence
waiting for you
to
to
this
say that.
motherfucker,
I was shocked it took you that long.
I sometimes there can be things that are in fiction to help solidify points, or you know,
I don't know how much longer I could take of this guy, but we're gonna try.
Amazed at how much energy we put into creating things. Just things. Little tchotchkes that you put on the shelf, books. You know, all those things take an intense amount of energy to create. They're amazed that we have this ability. The other thing that amazes them is they're also amazed at how easily we can.
So they can create something and then make it disappear, but it's physically there, and they're amazed that we have to like bust our ass to make something.
Wait, say that again.
Like they're amazed that we actually make things.
Right.
But
How did
yet-
they make the thing that makes the holograph that turns it into
That's
real,
what I'm
though?
saying. I don't know if it's their ability or they have some machine that does it, but literally they can make something out of nothing and then make it disappear. But they're amazed by how we can make a book.
Oh,
And I don't get it. I don't know.
Phil, I'm guessing that's one of the reptilians' name. Phil, look at how he sharpened that stick and made it into a spear. That's great.
Exactly.
You know, this guy tied two things together, blah blah blah, right? Oh,
Yeah.
look what he did with those leaves and those stems. They made a whole house out of this. Wow.
Yes. That's
How
kind
did
of what
they
he's saying.
create whatever machine it was that started creating the holographic things that were real?
Did they ever make things? Or I don't know. I'm very confused right now. We'll go on though.
Allow our own kind to starve, to go homeless, and to kill each other. They do not understand that.
I don't either, but okay.
Okay, and destroy our environment. One experience, I'll give you two experiences. One experience was with Visayas. I had just come up on board, and I was being led into a room, and Visayas had been watching a television transmission from Chicago, and policemen had just shot a black man that was running away. And then the policeman apparently ran over and tried to save his life. Okay? Visayas turns to me and he says,
stop it
I
right
don't
there?
understand your race.
Okay. Yep.
What year was this? Doesn't matter. 90, whatever. Don't give a shit. And also,
96.
Chicago is a wasteland. But as far as
Hey.
not your part, the other people's part.
Oh, okay.
The
rest of
poor
Chicago.
neighborhoods. So let's see. So normally, what happens in that situation where a cop shoots a guy, right? You don't just go over there and start saving your life. You're not a fucking paramedic. Two,
right?
You put him in handcuffs. There was a video actually I watched that Vigilante Renegade posted, and somebody was asking like, "Oh man, why is he dragging and put him in handcuffs? He's already dead." That's not the point.
You gotta secure him.
Police do their job. Paramedics do theirs. And I put on my gloves as long as it takes until they show up to do theirs, so I don't have any, you know what I mean? So I don't have to deal with it. But my point is just that was a weird. Go on.
No. Yeah. Well, this cop decided to shoot a guy and go save his life, so he might be better than you.
I don't understand why one would try to take his life and then the next minute try to save it.
Yeah, me
I
either.
didn't have an answer. In fact, many times I don't have an answer. Another time
I have an answer though.
I came on board. I was living in Lake Arrowhead at the time, and Mornay was looking at a group of meters on the ceiling of his ship, and it was all about the ozone and the air, oxygen content in our atmosphere.
Wait, hold on. Go back.
He looked very distressed, and
Sorry, no, not back. Jane, Who is the we in this? Where is this? The cops shoot the guy in the back on TV and plant a taser next to him? I missed that whole
She might
video.
have saw it.
That's interesting. But so I can explain how could he take the guy's life and then try to save him? Simple. He wasn't shooting him in most cases. Obviously, I don't know this exact one. I wasn't on that spaceship that the aliens
Yeah.
were watching it on, right?
Right, that's true.
Okay. Hopefully it was in closed captioning so he could read it in English because I'm sure
I think he speaks English.
the alien. Oh, you're right.
Well,
Anyway,
he talks to him.
so when cops engage with subjects, right, in like shootings, right, they're not doing it out of anger. Obviously, there's plenty of
There are some. Yep.
right, but they're not doing it out of anger. They're doing it out like that's their self defense. That's that's what they're hired to do. It's not personal in that
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah.
The default I know is like somebody shooting at you, I'd take that personal, right?
Mhm.
But you're in that situation because of your job, because
Yes.
you know what so you're going to save his life because that too is a part of it. It's not personal. It's not that easy.
Right. I agree with you, Kronos. Anyways, but Jane's
Was
saying
30
she
years
saw
ago,
that
what-
on TV. She did
That-
see this happen
doesn't-
on TV. Kronos is just saying you would be like, oh, how do you text on a phone? It's all voice.
30 years ago, were phones all vocal?
Shit.
Because I would say, how can you text on a phone?
Yeah, no, I don't think there was texting yet on phones 30 years ago because that would have been 1995. And my buddy had the only cell phone I ever knew of, any kid my age having, and it was just like a gray one that flipped and the antenna
Thanks,
came up.
Jane.
I
I'll look it
wanted
up.
that so bad. Anyways, we'll do a couple more minutes of this and then we're going to close it.
And I said, what's the matter? And
Is
he
the
said,
other-
don't they understand that all of this is here because they need it?
Right.
They don't understand how we can just so carelessly destroy our environment. Now,
Brian,
folks,
like I said,
We're
God,
monkeys.
I hate every time that I say something in a general sense, in a broad stroke. Well, you see, there are these people that don't do what you're saying. Yes,
Mhm.
and I even said there
Mhm.
are examples
You
of
did
it
preface
happening.
that. You
So
did
bringing
preface-
up seeing lots of cops on YouTube taking it personal,
Yeah.
that has no
Usually
bearing on
women.
it.
Anyways. You're trained not to. It's your job. Just like
But that's not a counter to what
I've
I said.
seen a lot of people working at McDonald's that got, someone's pissed off that their order was wrong. Don't take it so personal and just make the new food and give it. Some others jump over that motherfucking counter and beat the shit out of the customer. It happens. That's kind of what you were
Yes, I
saying.
did say Hicks Biden because that's funny as fuck.
It is really funny.
And I don't give up on
wanna
bits ever.
Ever. Hollow moon, hollow
share
earth.
something with you. If there was not divine intervention, which apparently there has been,
Oh,
March 23rd of 1994, if there has not been divine intervention, and I will cover that, according to the Andromedans, we would only have 41 years left worth of oxygen in our environment.
so if we only have 40 more years left and this is 1996, we're screwed. That's all we have left of oxygen. It's like 10 years. Fucking somebody was right. Al Gore or somebody.
No,
35
I wasn't
years-
even bringing up an example
Mm.
to counter this guy.
I'm
Because one,
so confused.
his example is like it doesn't really have anything. His cop tried to save a life. His aliens tried to save themselves. What?
Mhm.
No, it was
Mm.
because the aliens. He said that they don't understand why a cop would shoot a dude and then try to save his life. They didn't understand that.
And
that-
you were just saying
I was just
you would do
explaining
your own job.
right.
Right, because they're
Yes.
looking at it from a black and white perspective
Oh, let's
in
not
this
get racist.
example, quite literally, but as opposed to the fact that they're not looking at it from a cultural perspective. They're observing,
Mm.
going, you just tried to kill this thing, now you're trying to bring it back to life.
Mhm.
Whereas they're not looking at it from a cultural standpoint. This is what the police are to do. This is,
Yeah. And Mad was just making the point that as a officer, your job would have been to run over there and handcuff the guy and let the
Well,
paramedics.
yeah, but also, I mean, you would try to help him. I mean,
Yeah.
I did in Iraq. You know how many tampons I put in dudes?
Yeah.
We're not going to waste a good medical supplies
even
on.
before there were transes in the army. You used tampons.
You know what? My dad
You
did
already
have
blew
a.
up by then, right?
My dad did find it weird when I requested a more dip, wet wipes,
And
tampons.
They work though. You're not the first person that's told me that. We're gonna cut it off at the 22:16 minute mark for this guy.
Pretty far.
Yeah, we got pretty far. We got pretty far. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. Go over to Slender Dad's birthday and tell him that the Van Allen belt is impossible to go through. Just piss him off. And tell him his birthday's not real. And tell him,
that his birthday's not real.
Yeah, it's not real. He's lying. And he just wants people to show him a little like, oh, look at me, I'm slender. Hey.
Oh
That's
yeah.
it.
Let me get. I got the link here so I can share it.
Oh yeah, throw it in there. Thank you. Decent show. Take it. I'll take it. But I hope everybody has a good night. He's gonna drop slenders in the chat. Bad takes always over on whose channel again?
Vinny Arts channel,
Yes.
and the next time I will be on is tomorrow night when we're watching episodes 3 and 4 from season 2 of Dexter. Come hang with us. We provide a link so the first 10 people that aren't us also get to watch with us. Fun stuff.
Very cool. That is very cool. I like that. All right, everybody, have a great night, and we'll be back most likely Tuesday for A Song of Ice and Fire, and then Thursday I am playing that damn game finally, the Game of Thrones Kings Road game Thursday night. So have a great one, everybody.
And for me, you can find me every Tuesday night.
Yeah, hi.
Streaming Madpap, where we break down a story. Last week was what did we cover last week? Oh, the Falcon and the Snowman was great.
Yeah.
We may be going over the Gopher Gang this week. If you loved Gangs of New York, you're gonna love this story.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also defends cops that don't deserve it. Have a great night, everybody.
I'm also working on my first non-ironic video.
What?
Yep.
That's exciting. Okay. I'm excited to hear that. Later, everybody. Have a great night.
I feel like you're saying that to get me to stop talking.
No, you can talk because I'm not ending it for this part.
Aluminum
Not
Not a sport.
It's not. It's really
You see how mainstream lies to us?
I want you to believe. If I show you a fork and tell you it's a sport, do you believe? Yes, you do. Good night.